I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe, your man's Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. What's good, party people? Philip Casanovas is in the building. Fabian Williams, what's good? Infamous New King is in the building. What's good, y'all? What's good? We are going to continue this postseason live stream transaction watch. We're just going to continue to keep an eye out on the market to make sure that we are in the loop when things happen. We're going to chop it up about the things in Knicks universe. An easy one was good. What's good? What's good? Yeah, we're gonna stay on this transaction watch, just making sure that we don't miss nothing, that we don't miss a thing. It's gonna be like a marathon, baby. Yeah. Yeah, man. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Making sure that we don't miss a thing. Silk Sutton is in the building. Joe Madden. What's good? What's good, y'all? What's good? Man, so we're going to be out here on this watch. We're going to try to track everything, make sure nothing get by us. Right? Tell a friend. Hey, listen, and if you watch it and you haven't done so, please consider smashing the like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Right? Subscribe to the channel. We want to make sure that we help the channel grow. And not only do that, but provide you guys with the quality content that you guys deserve. Right? Y'all deserve quality content, and we're going to try to provide it for you. Right? What's on you guys' mind today? I'll tell you what's on my mind. This roster. I'm going to pull a roster up. I'm going to share it with you. I shared it the other day, but I want to share it with you guys because I'm a tad bit concerned. I'm a tad concerned that we'll be going into the season with this roster. I'm a tad concerned that we'll be going into the season with this roster. Now, maybe it'll overperform, the names on the list, right? But I think there are a couple more moves we have to consider. Couple more moves that we'll have to consider. I'm going to highlight the starters on here in green. I'm going to highlight the star. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way, y'all. I'm sorry, because this thing is all over the place. This way, it'll be higher production quality. All right, how about we do it that way? And what I'll do is I won't highlight them in green. What I'll do is turn the box green. How about that? Turn the box green. There we go. There we go. Now we are cooking. Now we're cooking. Right. Also, let me throw this link in the chat so I can have the homies come in when they get here. And so they can jump in when they feel like it. How do you guys feel about this roster already? I know it's early on a Sunday morning. We rocking. We don't care. It's the New York Knicks live stream. We're the most passionate fan base in the business. What's good? Eli M. What's good? Eli M. Says, Uncle Freezy, you're not playing. Super salute. Super salute, bro. Super salute. Nah, man, we ain't messing around. We passionate about this thing, bro. Y'all are passionate. I'm passionate. Why not just hang out together and just kick it? Right? Wilson Ding is in the building. Joe!
What's up, bro?
And what's up, man?
What's happening? How's things?
Man, things are pretty good, man. How the family doing?
Good.
Good, man. Good.
Just chilling. Gonna enjoy a long weekend, so.
Yeah, man. I probably went to bed about, what time did we end the live stream last night? About 3:00. So I went to bed about 5:30, right? 5:30 a.m. Because you know what happened? You ever had the intent on going to sleep and then you turned the movie on and then the movie just caught you and it's like you were so into the movie that you just stayed up and watched it? Yeah. There's this Adam Sandler movie on Netflix called Hustle.
Oh yeah, I seen that. That's good.
Yeah. So I watched that this morning instead of going to sleep, man. Which that wasn't the plan. The plan was to just put something on so I could just put something on, some background noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anuni 25 is in the building. What's good? We surveyed 100 people. Family Feud is in the building. What's good? I'm concerned with the defense. JB will easily get in foul trouble with this lineup. Start Grimes over Fournier is the solution.
So I see what's happening, Freezy. I was thinking about this the last couple of days and how the lack of moves are happening and stuff. And they haven't come out and said it, but they come out and spoke about the young guys. I think by the trade deadline, we're going to see this front office commit to a proper or at least a rebuild.
Okay.
I think you hearing about them trying to move Randall, move Fournier. So I don't think the rebuild start right now because they're going to play these guys to showcase. And if they're not winning games early, I think then they'll make trades to get some assets in and then commit to a rebuild. Unless I'm wrong, unless there's a move that we don't know that's going to happen, that's going to say, okay, they're going to compete. I just look at the roster and I'm like, and the fan bases look at the roster as like 10 seed, and they probably know that. So they're probably thinking, let's let the chips, and I'm thinking the same way. It's like, let the chips fall where they may. You win games, great. You lose games, you're going into a deep draft.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you on that. And that's a smart thought, bro, because the thing is, it's ultimately is the combination of Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, Evan Fournier, a team that can make a difference in the East? No.
And I think the Brunson move's it's to try and maybe win now or at least get the most out of Fournier and Randle so you can move them. Right. And people are like, oh, we're bringing Brunson to win now move. Not necessarily, because he's a 25-year-old point guard. You bringing him in makes it easier, so the stress of you not having to draft a point guard if you're not in position for the rebuild. So what I'm saying is having Brunson makes the young guys better, and whatever future young guys come in better until he's replaced.
Right.
So
Right.
I think Brunson's just, it's to help these dudes, because it helps Obi, it helps Mitch, it helps RJ, and then it helps Fournier and Randall. It makes them better. So then at the deadline, instead of you being stuck with them like we are now, trying to move them, you'll be able to get pieces back or picks or something. Because right now, I think the problem with them trying to move Fournier and Randall, both of them are either on neutral or negative value right now.
Okay. I would say to you, the Brunson deal, I think it is more. And to your point, man, listen, I'm not disparaging your point, because I think what you're saying is smart too. I just think it's a system fit. You know what? Are you a football fan?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite team?
Oh, Giants all day. I'm a die-hard Giants fan.
Giants fan, right?
I'm a big Giants fan as I am a Knicks fan.
Oh, okay, so this would be perfect for you, right? I think the Jalen Brunson addition is like bringing in Phil Simms to run your offense, right? I think the Giants have had great quarterbacks over their years, right? But I think the two best quarterbacks that they've ever had, right, are a dude named Fran Tarkington that I got to see. That was way before your time. Yeah, way before your time, right?
Even Phil Simms is a little bit before my time, because I'm 26. So
right, and
I'm more. I got Eli for basically my whole childhood up until the last couple of years. So I basically Eli even a little bit before. There was what's the dude that was in? Warner was in for
Kurt
what?
Warner,
2 years?
yeah.
Yeah, was in, and
Warner.
then Eli was drafted, and then we had Eli. So I'm lucky that we weren't like the Jets, where we were quarterback hopping every 2 years. At least I had consistency to that position.
Right. I was going to mention to you that the bringing in of Jalen Brunson is like bringing in Phil Simms to run your offense. That's it. Now, you might not remember Phil Simms, but Phil Simms won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants, right?
He was a game manager.
Yeah, he was a high-level thinker, skill player, leader, right? And even one. Hey, you remember Chad Pennington?
Yeah.
That's what I think he is. Like almost Andy Dalton, right? Almost a Boomer Esiason.
Almost a great quarter, or like a Pro Bowl quarterback. Almost, but not quite there. Better than good, but not great.
Right.
That's
and won't lose you games. Right. Like you'll never go into the locker room after a loss and be like, well, he's the reason why we lost. That's what Jalen Brunson is. Like an excellent high level game manager, leader who's not going to get his troops beat up in bad situations. You know what I'm saying? Chad Pennington, Phil Simms, Jeff Garcia, for those that can remember. Who else would I? Bernie Kosar type, who have talent, but not elite talent, are very smart, risk averse, right? They're not going to risk a win by making a loser's play.
Like what to modern today is Jimmy Garoppolo. What is today? Jimmy Garoppolo. He's expendable. You can get better, but you could also do a lot worse. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, but not get you over the hump.
Right. And for those thinking like Kirk Cousins, no, not those Kirk Cousins types. Not those that will take a calculated risk. No, I'm not saying those. Nah, not those type of guys, right? Not your Carson Wentz's and those that take calculated risk. What I'm saying is guys that are risk averse, that try to make the right play all the time, is an extension of the coaching staff, right? right? Yeah. And so when you have Brunson on the floor, what that does is, if you have kids, it's like when okay, so let me say it like this. For those that have kids or can remember, y'all remember how hard first grade was as a kid. And your kids, first grade is hard, right? Because in first grade, you go from nap time and all this stuff to learning skills. Like you have to start, you know what I'm saying, learning stuff in first grade. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to start, you're on the path to like reading long sentences, reading paragraphs, right? You got to start reading books, man. Now, I'm not saying these books are complicated books. I'm just saying you have to start thinking, like taking into context. Like, so what I'm getting at is if you remember leaving kindergarten, or if your kids remember leaving kindergarten, going to first grade, no more nap time. Ain't none of that. Hey, I'm tired at 10:45. I need to lay down, take a nap stuff. Ain't no pallet on the floor. Ain't no reading time where you sit down and eat cookies and all. None of that in first grade. But say when you get to second grade, where you make it out of first grade, you get to second grade, and you get the cool hip teacher, the young teacher, probably in their 20s, probably just graduated, right? But you don't know that. All you see is a young person. And they come in with a lot of energy and they lead you around and then give you responsibilities. Like, hey, Joe Madden, when we finish drawing on the whiteboard, your job every day is to wipe down the whiteboard and put the erasers back in the magic box, right? And you're like, the magic box? And you're like, yeah, the magic box. And all it is a box where you put the whiteboard erasers in, and the little cleaning stuff in there, clean the erasers overnight, and then you come back in the next day, they clean and sanitize. But he don't tell you that. He calls it the magic box. You put them in there dirty, they come out clean. It's the magic box, right? And so you add Jalen Brunson to a Cam Reddish, to an Obi Toppin, to an RJ Barrett, to an Emmanuel Quickly, a Miles McBride, a Quentin Grimes. And Jalen Brunson is saying to you, like, hey, Obi, when you set this screen, don't hip check. Set the screen hard. Roll to the basket with your outside hand up. And if I see any sliver of light, I'm throwing that pass to you. Any. Right? Right? And then so Obi is like, really? You're going to throw me the pass? Last year, they didn't. I don't care about last year. Last year is not first grade. It's not kindergarten no more. You at a higher level. You graduated to a new level of offense with me being here. So set the screen hard, right? And then look, if they cover you, be prepared to rebound, right? Get on the glass, play big, small stuff, right? I think that is what Jalen Brunson is going to be bringing to these kids. Not the fact that he needs to be a 35-year-old point guard that been through all the wars. Jalen Brunson is at the perfect age, just older than them for him to be relevant, but old enough to have been through the wars. Right?
And just entering his prime, too. Right. 25 going on 26. So you're just getting him at the peak.
Right. Just old enough. Just old enough to be their leader, but just also old enough at the same time to understand the stuff that they're going through. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so when you bring in Jalen Brunson with this team, you don't expect him to be John Stockton or Steve Nash. But what you do expect him to do is help your kids along. Because in the grand scheme of things, if Jalen Brunson comes here and he's a bust, who cares? Who cares? You had bust point guards before. You've had free agents come in on bad contracts before. You just got rid of a bunch of them, right? But if Brunson can come here and save your kids, if Brunson can come here and unlock Cam Reddish, unlock Obi, you know what I'm saying? Unlock Quickly, unlock Grimes, unlock McBride, then that $27 million a year that you paid, you get 10 times, 20 times the investment, the return on investment. You feel me? Like Joe, check this out. So if hey, salute to Subliminal 209, the host of the Knicks after party Thursday nights at 11 p.m. right here on Blawrence Tears with his super co-host Cully, the Cully Goat. What's up? What's good?
Appreciate that.
What's up, bro?
What's good, Joe? Yeah. Y'all up early this morning, huh?
Early.
Yeah, I just checked my phone right now. I was making breakfast and I went to go look at the phone and I was like, okay, let me hop on my uncle real quick.
Yeah, man, we don't play games, bro. This off season is super important to us. And while I'm not saying this is okay. So you know what? Y'all want me to come clean with y'all? Joe, you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah, we want you to keep it a buck all the time.
Yeah.
But I can't. I can't, because what people do is jump out the window. Like if you say if you give everybody your true intent all the time, they jump out the window, right? So
let them jump. You don't got to go with them.
I know.
Tell him, Joe. Tell him.
But this. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and it's gonna make y'all laugh probably. But I'm gonna say this with sincerity, right? In my opinion, I think the Knicks are at the early stages of being the Golden State Warriors.
Who's that? I don't know. We're talking about player by player, by team, just the team chemistry.
I think he's talking about the roster building. I think he's talking about roster building, like how Golden State never really, at the beginning of their thing, never really went out and fully tanked.
No. What I'm saying to you guys is that the Golden State Warriors, when they got into championship mode, a lot of their moves didn't really make sense. Like for instance, we were like, "Hey, DP, what's good? How you doing, brother?"
Oh, what up? How you?
Good. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How y'all doing? I'm good. Chilling.
Good. Hey, good to have you on, man.
Happy to be on. I'm trying to get myself situated. I didn't know I was gonna be on that quick.
Hey, man, mess around. We don't play.
I hear you. I appreciate it. You already know.
Yeah, man. Hey, so so you jumped in right when I was doing my line of demarcation with the Knicks.
Okay.
I think right now the New York Knicks have crossed a line moving towards championship contention. Right? I think the New York Knicks are probably at that point where the Golden State Warriors were 2 years before they drafted Steph Curry.
Okay,
right?
I thought you were gonna say that Grimes was Klay Thompson, and then
no,
IQ was.
No.
You didn't even let me.
No,
finish.
I know.
But go ahead. I just saw that joke in there.
No, because where we are is in a place where we finally figured it out, right? Like the decision-making processes are right now are based on us figuring out who we are as a franchise and what we need to do to get to the mountaintop. Now, I'm not saying that we have expedited the process to get to the mountaintop. What I'm saying is now we at least understand who we are as a franchise, right? If y'all notice, like Joe, check this out. If you notice when KD and Kyrie became available, you notice that there was Knicks buzz for say half a day or so. But after that, there was no more KD Kyrie to the Knicks talk.
No.
You know,
because people come to the realization it's not happening, and the KD stuff, it's some people don't want him, and if it was to happen, the Knicks are cleaning up the farm, and people don't look at KD right now as a guy that's going to be able to carry the Knicks alone. Once you clear out the roster, him and a bunch of bums isn't competing for a finals.
Right, and so I think this Knicks front office, and I think it's led by Dolan, I think Dolan has a lot to do with this. And so I know people hate to give Dolan credit for anything, right? But I think Dolan is co-signing this. Hey man, let me rephrase it. Let me phrase it in a way that makes more sense. That's more palatable. I want to say it in a way that's more palatable. Leon Rose goes to James Dolan and says, "Hey, listen, we're gonna build this thing like a small market team, right? Like a San Antonio Spurs, like a Golden State Warriors. Now, what we need for you to do is be patient with us, because we're gonna make some moves that are gonna look ugly on the surface, but it's preparing us to get better down the road, right? So just be patient with us. We're going to take on some bad contracts, like some Nerlens Noel, right? Like some Kemba Walker. But it's not for those guys to win a championship. It's going to be for the kids to win the championship. It's going to be for the grizzled veteran RJ Barrett to hold up the Larry O'Brien trophy, the grizzled veteran Emmanuel Quickly to hold up the Larry O'Brien trophy. It's for the Obi Toppins. But what we have to do is have a system in place for their development that won't derail these guys' deficiencies or proficiencies as we build up their deficiencies on the floor, right? We have to have guys play in front of them and help them along as they develop into championship caliber players, right? So you bring in your Kemba Walkers, you bring in your Evan Fourniers, you bring in your Alec Burks and all these guys to play along with your kids, so that your kids in real time in a gym work on their deficiencies. Like Sub, you know this, for example. You've seen the kid that's like 7, 8 years old, got a superb handle going right, but when you sit on his right hand, he can't go left. You know what you got to do to improve that, right?
Yeah.
You gotta work on your left hand. You can't go more right. They sit on your right hand. You can't try to power right if they sitting on your right hand, right? You got to work on your left hand. And then once you get because you can still have a dominant right hand drive, right? And then go left, but you got to, at least once you get some moves going left, now you got to learn how to set up your defender to go right or left, depending on what to do.
You got to finish left too, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not just getting to the cup left. You got to finish left too. So.
Right. But that stuff takes time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way this team is built, this whole team's going left because Brunson's a lefty too.
Right. Right. But
Mr. Robinson put it on Twitter after Brunson was signed, was like, "Congratulations, bro. I know we all going left."
So is Hartenstein.
Like, yeah.
Hartenstein's a lefty too.
Right. But I just use that as an example. That's not the main thing. I just use that as an example to say, you need time for people to work on their deficiencies. And so while you work on your deficiencies, you bring in Alec Burks, a Kemba Walker, a guy to kind of hold it in the road. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a extra driver. DP, you ever been on a long drive, like you drove somewhere that's like maybe 13 hours, and you got your uncle, you like, just go ahead and take these next 3 hours, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rest my eyes a little bit, and then I'll get it after that.
For sure.
That's what the Knicks are doing right here. But these contracts that they're on look ugly, right? And so the reason why I mentioned that the Knicks are on the way to being the Golden State Warriors, San Antonio Spurs, is not because they're going to get the number 1 pick. I don't believe the Knicks are going to get a Tim Duncan generational type player, right? And I alluded to it with conversations with Joe Madden as far back as 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? That it's not about where you pick in the draft. You don't have to tank. It's about the person selecting the talent, right? Because there are plenty of stars in this league. There are plenty of stars in this league that have not been drafted number 1. For every Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Derrick Rose, Anthony Davis, There are Paul Georges, Kawhi Leonards out there. There are Steph Currys. There are Klay Thompsons out there. You know what I'm saying? There are a bunch of guys not drafted in the top 5 or number 1 that are stars. There are Nikola Jokic's, Giannis Antetokounmpo's, Jimmy Butler's. So what I'm saying is I think I'm starting to see where this front office is going. It was frustrating at first because they don't tell you where they're going.
Facts.
DP, you remember how mom and dad used to be like, "Hey, go get in the car." You're like, "Where we going? Where we going?" They're like, "Shut up. You know, it don't matter where we going. Just get in the car."
Right.
You remember that? You know,
Of course.
and so it's frustrating, man. And so as a fan, when Leon Rose just tell you to just shut up and get in the car, you like, yeah, who you think you took? Man, I spend $60 a month on fanatics.com. And I know $60 a month don't sound like a lot to y'all, but that's $700 something a year on Knicks swag.
You putting gas in the car.
T-shirt.
You put a lot of blood, tears, and gas in this car.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so when people say, "Well, it ain't your money, Uncle Freezy," yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Sure.
But my point, the point that I was making is this: the Knicks are not down the road yet to be the Warriors, right? We're not gonna print up "We Believe" T-shirts and all that stuff yet. That's not us yet, right?
Right.
But we are in the very beginning stages. See, Golden State was a team that was known for having a bunch of wing players, right? And they were like, well, they made the decision. We can't win in this league without having guys in our backcourt. And then you see them bringing guys like Monte Ellis. They turned it. Monte Ellis. All of a sudden, Golden State is starting to turn the corner. Like, people forget about the Steven Jackson, Corey Maggette, "We Believe" Golden State Warriors, right? But when they started drafting guards, they brought in Monte Ellis. They brought in Stephen Curry. They brought in Klay Thompson. All of a sudden, they're tickering down that road of the little engine that could. Sure, San Antonio Spurs, you win in championships, but one day we're going to beat somebody. Sure, Kobe Bryant, you putting up 50 in a playoff game, but one day we're going to beat somebody. Dallas Mavericks, Dirk and them got the white shirts on, NBA champs and blah, 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 NBA champs, everything. And Golden State is like, man, one of these days we building it slow. And so that is where, so Joe Madden, that's where I think we are. We are watching the Boston Celtics put on those crispy white Eastern Conference Finals shirts with the hat Eastern Conference Finals and all that stuff as a Knicks fan. And we are slowly adding youth to the roster to one day knock off the Goliath or the Goliaths in our conference. But it's a slow process, and we ain't got nothing but time.
What about that Donovan Mitchell? Is that cap? Is they not going after him? I mean,
in my honest opinion, they believe the best way to build it is with your own homegrown talent, right? But don't get it twisted. San Antonio acquired players from other teams. San Antonio made the Boris Diaw trade, right? They made the Steven Jackson trade, right? They acquired Bruce Bowen, right? Bruce Bowen was not a lifelong Spur. Bruce Bowen was garbage. Bruce Bowen was a Quentin Grimes with the Miami Heat, and the Miami Heat wasn't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? People don't remember that. People don't remember Miami Heat Bruce Bowen. Trash. 8th man, 9th man on the roster. But he got to San Antonio and got a role. And it's the same role that people here have been asking about. Man, we should start Grimes. Yeah, in due time. Remember, this dude has only played one NBA season. And he's coming off of injury. Right? And he's had 1,000 point guards already. One season in the NBA, he's already had 1,000 point guards. And then it's got a new one this season. Right? So what I'm saying is for Knicks fans that can't really see, like, you know, all this stuff. I think I saw it like in February, but I didn't want to comment on it because there were too many moving parts, and there was rumors and innuendo and a bunch of stuff, like, you know, so people, you know, poker face stuff. But over the last couple of days, I realized that I believe that Leon Rose is not the Godfather. Leon Rose is not the Don. Leon Rose is not the mafioso. Leon Rose is a nerd, like Sam Presti.
I remember
Like
you saying that last
Troy
night.
Weaver. Yeah, like Troy Weaver. And the thing, anybody that remember high school, if you remember in high school, the jocks always seem to assimilate with the jocks. The nerds always seem to assimilate with the nerds. You know what I'm saying? And if you watch that on the NBA landscape, right? The Troy Weavers who worked for Sam Presti got the Detroit job, and all of a sudden he's willing and dealing like Sam Presti. And Leon Rose is dealing in that group for the third consecutive year. Think about this: for the third consecutive year, the New York Knicks and the Oklahoma City Thunder have pulled off a draft day trade. 3 straight seasons.
And the Knicks in Detroit pulled 2 off in the space of 2 or 3 days.
Right. And
How
2 or
they
3
helped
years.
us dumb salaries, so they're kind of. I think Scott Perry had a lot to do with it. His relations up in Detroit.
Right.
But I think they're trying to form relationships that way that'll help them down the road. And there's 2 very good GMs. Troy Weaver's not really as proven, but he was with 2 very good organizations. He come out of OKC with Presti.
Yeah,
So
and
he's well groomed and he's trying to build his way the right way. I think Leon was trying to be the mafia guy, the guy that had all the connections, the guy that was going to bring a star here. And I think draft night, he tried moving up for Ivy. And when he couldn't even move up for Ivy, I think he was a click, all right, my young players haven't shown enough of value and I don't have enough of picks. And if that can't move me up in the draft, how am I going to trade for a superstar? So he might have pivoted a little bit until that big move is ready.
But that's what I'm saying. Why is this not the move? We have plenty of draft capital. We have 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years, to go ahead and get Donovan Mitchell. I mean, how many times is a disgruntled superstar, or not superstar, but you know what I mean, disgruntled star going to be available? I mean, isn't the time now? Isn't this why we have all those picks? Isn't this why we have, you know, these guys there? No,
nope. No, let me because what you say makes sense in theory, right?
I'm just asking. Yeah.
No, I'm with you. But let's take a walk down memory lane, right? Let's take a walk down memory lane. All right. Last year, the Knicks had their 2021 first round pick. The 2021 first round picks. They had 2 of them, right? They had their 2022 first round pick. Then they had the 2023 first round picks. They had 5 picks in a 3-year stretch, right? And so names were becoming disgruntled back then. Last February, like January 2021, names are disgruntled. Hey, Damian Lillard don't like his situation. You know, a draft pick package. A draft pick package could get you Dame. DC, Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook don't like playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to get a Bradley Beal, right? Donovan Mitchell don't like this situation. He just personally don't like Rudy Gobert, right? He won't pass to Rudy Gobert on the court. It's affecting the franchise. One of those cats have got to go, right? The Knicks at the time had 5 first-round picks over a 3-year stretch. And this front office didn't use any of them on those disgruntled players. Because the thing is, think about this. First round picks is not a new thing. That's not new. That go all the way back to like the 50s, the 60s, right? Disgruntled stars, that's not a new thing. As soon as you named the starting 5, the 6th and 7th dude on your team were disgruntled because they want to start. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been sub. You've been around kids. You know how you name your starting five, and the dudes that you say not in your starting five, they want to play. They mad because they ain't starting. They disgruntled off rip, right? Because they're not starting. So disgruntled players and draft picks is not a new concept, and the concept of putting this together is not a new concept, right? But the Knicks didn't make a move for any of these guys. The Knicks didn't go after the Karl Anthony Towns, right? The Knicks didn't go after a Damian Lillard. The Knicks didn't go after a Bradley Beal, a Devin Booker. You know what I'm saying? A Zach LaVine.
Yeah, but we know that Bradley Beal isn't going nowhere. Like, we knew he was going to re-sign with them. You know what I'm saying? We knew that Dame is Portland. You know what I'm saying? That he's the face of the franchise. That, I mean, he's been there his whole career. You know?
Yeah, all them names, Freezy. The only one that seems to be coming to fruition is Donovan. The rest of them have signed up, re-upped on deals and stayed where they're at.
Right, and they just got rid of Gobert. That's the only reason I'm asking. You know what I mean? Like, I would, if this Donovan Mitchell talk has been going on for a year and some change, and I ain't really, you know. Like,
I think it's been going on since his rookie year when everyone was mad that we didn't draft him. When we're like, all right, wait till he gets disgruntled in a couple of years, and now it's happening, and now people are seeing that statement the organization put out. They're worried about the draft capital. I kind of agree because you see what Danny Ainge got for Gobert.
But what about Zion? What about Zion? Zion was a hot name at one point too.
Yeah, re-up though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He said he couldn't sign that deal fast enough. So I think there was some leverage play there in the middle to say, all right, you don't give me my full money, I'm out. And Pelicans like, we'll give you the full money, and he's like, okay, cool.
They had no
and then
other choice because
they
had to save their franchise value. If they didn't sign Zion, their franchise value would have plummeted, and they would have had to move to St. Louis or Kansas City or somewhere or Seattle. They had to save their franchise's value, right? But what I'm getting at, everybody.
Well, that's why they got Zion in the first place. I think was they got rigged from the 7th spot up to the first overall pick over the Knicks. Because I think Silver done it on purpose because Anthony Davis was out of town. He was going to the Lakers. So they knew when they were losing him, that was going to plummet the franchise. They're like, you know what? Here, we'll give you Zion. If they couldn't afford then, and the NBA couldn't afford, he'd be like, 3 years later, Zion's going to leave there too. Right. Remember, they lost CP3 when they were when they were the Hornets, right?
Right.
So
but
they have a history.
But it didn't just start with CP3. It's the New Orleans Jazz. The New Orleans Jazz were losing star players left and right from the beginning of the time. New Orleans can't retain a star. They can't. It's like, oh, okay. So the unfortunate thing is New Orleans can't keep a star, and the Knicks can't get a star. Those are two realities that the NBA has been dealing with for the last 60 years, right? There's nothing you can do about that, right? The thing you'll try to do about that is work around it. You know what I'm saying? Is there a workaround for this? The workaround for the Knicks is draft your own star and develop him in a New York state of mind, right? Because you're not going to get a guy, say, from Mobile, Alabama. He the number 1 pick. He went to Duke University, played at Duke, right? And then you send him to New York. He's not going to embrace the New York mindset. He ain't from New York. To play for the Knicks, you have to be. Bruh, hey, Joe, on your way to work, how many people blow their horn at you, bro?
A lot.
Yeah. That's not...
You hear people screaming on the buses, to the subway. You hear them on the subway. Like, New York, that's why, to me, if they do try and rebuild, there's going to be a lot of backlash because New York people in life in general are not patient.
Right.
They can't wait for their bacon, egg, and cheese and their coffee in the morning. They can't wait 5 minutes.
Right.
So you think they're going to wait for a 4 or 5 year rebuild?
Right.
Like we serious on inflation. It's crazy.
They can't wait on their bacon, egg, and cheese, right? But then they don't want it raw either.
No, they want it perfectly cooked. If it's not perfect, they complain, but they want it done in 2 minutes.
Right. That's my point. New York is a tough place to build and rebuild, right? And so that's the reason why James Dolan, in my opinion, has taken the approach that if you show Knicks fans incremental progress every season, they won't have anything to complain about, right? Give them something to root for at the same time that you rebuild. right? Give them something to root for at the same time you're rebuilding, right? Now you're rebuilding, right? But you want to show Knicks fans that you're making progress. That's why when people say the Knicks should just flat out tank, you can't tank in New York. You can rebuild, right? And I know they sound like the same term. It was the thing that the reason why me and Eddie C got into it. He was like, "But Uncle Freezer, you said tank, and I didn't say tank. I said rebuild, right? So if you pick at 8, you can't pick a Kevin Knox at 8, right? You got to pick a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 8 or 9, right? Somebody more ready to contribute because Knicks fans want to see progress. They don't want to tank, bro. Right? It's the reason why at 7, when you're picking at 7, you can't pick a Frank Ntilikina. Or 8, you can't pick a Frank. You got to pick a Donovan Mitchell because he offers you more upside. And it's the reason why we were pounding the table for Jaden Ivey. Because at 11 or 7 or wherever they were going to pick, you can't pick a guy that's going to be a long-term project and says he's the future, buy season tickets. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Freezy, this suite, Joe, to get the suite I want at MSG, I got to pay $4,200 for the game.
Yeah.
$4,200, right? But I can get that same suite in Charlotte, North Carolina to see my same Knicks for $1,800. Are you serious? I could take 19 other people and put them in my suite and pay $1,800 for it, right? And get top-notch service. Man, they serving everything. The chef's so nice. Sub, when you sit up in the suite in Charlotte, bro, they'll be like, "Hey, Mr. Subliminal 209, we have a drink bar over here. All the different drinks is like in a buffet bar. And then there's a cookie bar, and there's a hot dog bar, like with all the servings for your hot dog. And then there's a sausage bar next to it. And then the chef comes in, like, Mr. Joe Madden, sir, how do you like your steak?" And Joe tell him, and they'll grill it right there in front of Joe. You know what I'm saying? And we walk around drinking our whatever beverage we like or whatever, watching the game. For $1,800, it's 20 of us, and then we rocking and rolling, right? For that same experience at MSG, I got to pay $2,400 extra dollars.
So I heard you say you're setting it up next year, and I got a spot next to you. So sign me up. I'm good. I'm Gucci, ready to go.
Already, you know it. We just gotta make sure Cully don't show up late.
I said this spot is reserved for Kelly 2 hours later.
Cully go, yeah. Hey, what? The game's over? What's happening? No, Cully, you know you late, man. No. We're joking about Cully, but the reason why I bring that up is because you can't tell me that the product on the floor is bad and still going to charge me premier prices. Right? That's what I'm getting at, Joe. That's the reason why New Yorkers don't want to hear the word tank. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to tell me tank, and then not only do I have to pay $4,200 for this suite, I have to pay for parking, right? Then I got to fight through this ridiculously obnoxious crowd, right? And so all this stuff that go along with a bad product on the floor, but premium prices, right? So that's why when people will be like, "Man, we need to tank. Have you ever been to a game? Do you know how expensive tickets are at MSG? Do you know how expensive it is to live in the city? I ain't talking about Westchester. Right? I ain't talking about out of town. I ain't talking about like Mount Vernon. I'm talking about in the city. I ain't talking about New Rochelle. I ain't talking about Jersey City. I'm talking about in the city. Do you know how expensive it is to be a Knicks fan? And then you're talking about tanking. I'm gonna watch a bad team but pay premium prices? No. That's why it's important. That's why it's important for us to have a draft guru select these players so that regardless where we pick, we'll be selecting quality NBA players, hopefully borderline or superstar caliber players.
The problem is we haven't been selected. We've been moving back and moving out of the draft. Think about it, though. You liked Ousmane Deng. We talked about it a couple of shows before. I liked Ousmane Deng. You said his ceiling could have been like a Nicholas Batum's, the style of play that you said he may have had. I thought his upside like could be George Paul-ish with the slick handles. Apparently, OKC felt the same way because they gave up 3 first-round picks for this cat because they have the patience to develop him, knowing that he has this high upside.
Right.
You
but
know?
Knicks fans not gonna have the patience for him. I wanted him. You remember y'all was kind enough to let me join the joint, and you were like, "Hey man, if you got to pick at 11, who you picking?" And I was like, "I like this kid. If I can't get Jeremy Sohan, and listen, because the mock draft was saying Sohan was gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, God dog it. So if I can't get Sohan, I'll take Ousmane Dieng right here.
And I was with you.
And then when the Knicks selected him, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, you was the only one excited.
Yeah.
I jumped out my seat and everything. I was like, yeah, boy, yeah. I just sat right back down after I heard, like, shoulders dropped and everything.
You have to think of it like as Leon Rose, like in Worldwide West and Brock Eiler's perspective. You're sitting there at 11. You were trying to move up for Ivy all night. You knew the possibility wasn't going to happen. You're looking at the board, and it's mostly developmental guys, and the best developmental guys there is Dang. OKC's on the phone is like, yo, I'll give you 3 firsts.
Right.
And you're like, okay. This kid is like, which is more valued to me, the 3 firsts to make a big move or move up in a future draft and a future draft capital, or me taking this kid and putting him in the G League for 2 years and seeing if he even pops.
Right.
So I think where their value was like, do you know what? Let's pump the brakes. As we're getting our guy in free agency, let's also load some money and let's load up on future draft capital. And where I think they could possibly look at this is like where they didn't do last year, where they tried when it wasn't working and they weren't making the playoffs, they kept running the same thing. I think this year, especially with how good this draft is going to be up top, I think if this doesn't work out before the trade deadline, then they're going to pull the plug, and their move is going to be to move up and make sure they're in the top 3 or top 5 of this draft.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it through a different lens, though, kind of like, you know, how Unc had brought up not a long time ago, but a while back, with not moving up to go get Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? He had the draft capital. These guys gave 3 first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? The OKC, like, that's what I'm saying, though. This guy could be something special. Would we be mad if this guy ends up being Paul George and we just gave up picks that end up being nothing, though, that we end up just, you know, being another ham sandwich later on down the line, you know, because they're all later first-round picks that may never convey to first-round picks. They may be second-round picks. So there's a lot of unknown with those picks.
They'll all convey. Washington might even convey next year.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at it at a different point of view. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, 3 first-round picks. Yeah, that's great, though. But what happens if we missed out on this guy? Because the way we were talking about is we had high upside. Do you want to go the defensive end with Jeremy Sohan, or do you want to go with the offensive upside with this guy? So we were on board with picking either one of those guys at 11.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I mean,
right.
But if it ends up, like I said, if those picks end up being pushed in the front of the table for Donovan Mitchell, then I'm all in. But if we just waiting and it turns out to be nothing, I'm gonna be pissed. That's it.
Right. And so
I agree with you. If they don't move up in a draft or move the picks for the star, and next thing we're stuck with these picks trying to move them. Like, I think the picks will convey, but it's like you already have a bunch of young guys, and you're gonna have more guys coming in, and when they convey in like 2024, 2025, 2026, you're gonna already have a bunch. You're gonna kind of be in a Danny Ainge situation with Boston, where he accumulated a load of picks, got a bunch of young guys, but never moved the picks, and they just ended up wasting them and moving the guys for peanuts later, like they did with Romeo Langford was one of them. There was a point guard that they had.
Simi Ojeleye. Simi Ojeleye, your Romeo Langford, your Aaron Neesmiths. Yeah, all them guys.
Yeah, they didn't. And I'm like, if they went with Jason Tatum and Brown and moved all them picks for a star, they probably would have won the chip already.
And where Boston went wrong is the rumor was there was a deal on the table. The Knicks get 3 first-round picks from Boston, and Boston gets the number 8 pick in the 2021 NBA draft, right? Or was it 2021? 2020 NBA draft, right?
Obi Toppin draft.
Yeah. And the Boston Celtics would have taken Onyeka Okongwu to be their center, right? And then the Knicks would have traded back, and they would have had like 5 picks towards the end of the first round, start of the second round, right? Where they could have traded those picks, right? Like they could have taken Cole Anthony, Desmond Bane, and I think Zeke Naji were projected in the spots where the Celtics were picking. I think it was Cole Anthony.
Boston took, I think, at 14 they took Aaron Naismith, and then like at 28 or 29 they took Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
So the Knicks could have had like, even I think at 14 they could even had Maxey, because I think there was rumors of Maxey. If they had a 14 pick, they could have took like Maxey and Bane or something else, because there's a lot of good players that come out of that draft.
We could have had Maxey and Quickly out of the same draft, bro. I know that sounds redundant. That sounds redundant, but they're not the same player. Their stature is the same, but Maxey is a more athletic, streaky shooter, and Quickly was dubbed more of the leader, consistent shooter. And so he's Quickly has struggled with his shot, but you could see the potential there. Right? But if Boston had pulled off that deal, they would have had Onyeka Okongwu, and they may have won a championship already just by having big man depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And Onyeka Okongwu was then he went off the board at 6 to Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh, he went off the board at 6, right? Okay. That's probably why
they might have taken maybe a Halliburton.
He's been stuck behind Clint Capella.
Good point. They may have taken Halliburton.
Right. Then now you got your point guard that you wind up trading for this year.
Right. But where I'm getting at, what I'm getting at right now with where the Knicks are is at that very early stage of learning to swim. You know how y'all know how to swim, right? Everybody here knows how to swim. I'm just gonna assume yes. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you were watching other people swim out in the deep water and you wanted to go, but you were scared. You know what I'm saying? You know how you put your foot in the water and you're like, oh, snap. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where the Knicks are right now. Right?
I'm jumping all the way in. I ain't wasting no time.
Yeah, and we'll be resuscitating. We resuscitating someone. Give us some Kool-Aid.
The organization's been. They've been jumping into the deep end without knowing how to swim for the last 20 years and drowning at the end of it.
Yeah, well.
We need to pace ourselves and learn how to swim. Freezy's right.
Yeah. And so I'm just thinking, and I'm gonna go get something to drink, man. I'm a little parched. But look, I think we're at that early stage, bro. Now, if you're asking me, when do I believe the Knicks will win a championship? I still think it's about 4 years away, right? 4 years of contract extension, extending the youth, developing what you already have, playing these kids. I think we're about 4 years away. Now, I'm not saying 4 years away from contending. I'm saying 4 years away from raising the trophy. Right? Because I think we're probably about this year. This year, we got to get this year out of the way. Right? This year, I think we're probably 40 and 42, 41 and 41, 42 and 40, unless we add some other talent. And I think we're 40 wins if Cam and Obi click, if these young guys click, if Grimes click, if all of them click. If they don't click, bro, we're set back at least 3 years. If Obi don't turn out to be nothing, if Quickly don't turn out to be nothing, if Cam don't turn out to be nothing, if RJ have another season, if this season is like the one he had last year, you got to consider cleaning house and starting all over. And I know that sounds bad.
Well, that's a lot of question. Can I ask a question? Would this move propel us to the forefront starting this year if we were to acquire an OG Anunoby?
Say that again. Say that one more time.
If we were to get Anunoby from Toronto, would that propel us further along starting this year?
I think you're looking at 5th or 6th seed, and I ain't lying. I think Anunoby is a big because I think the shooting athleticism and defense is what we lack at the wing right now when you're looking at the 2 or the 3 spot. You bring Anunoby, you move Fournier out and put RJ back at the 2, OG at the 3. Now you have a 1-2 tandem at your wing. Because OG can shoot that thing. He has the defense, athleticism. I think that's a perfect fit. But all depends on what the price is because, of course, you're dealing with Yesai Ujiri too.
I don't think they're going to move OG. I like it sounds like I might get killed. I do Reddish, Fournier, a first, and if they really push their luck, they can get one of those protected first. But like you said, that lineup you just made up, Joe, I think we're competitive against Boston, that wing heavy team. We take away from Toronto. We surpass the Charlottes and the Washingtons. You know what I'm saying? I think we're right in the mix. That allows RJ back at that 2-guard position, and OG Anunoby guards he guards the Tatums. RJ guards the what's the other kid name from Boston?
Brown.
Brown, and I think that puts everything back into perspective. I saw a video with OG guarding he was given it's just a clip, it's just a highlight, but he was giving Bam from Miami fits. That kid's a problem if he can stay healthy.
Right. Let me just say this real quick because you mentioned you had 2 points and 2 questions.
Okay.
So in order for us to not gloss over what you were mentioning, for one, do we want OG Anunoby? Right. That was the first thing. Like, would you consider OG Anunoby? Yes.
Yes.
Because the only thing better than Jimmy Butler is 2 Jimmy Butlers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if RJ Barrett is on the path to being Jimmy Butler, well, shoot, OG Anunoby is already there.
Right.
He just got to stay healthy.
Got to stay healthy. That's the key.
It's 6'7", 232. They're the same size, right? The only thing that OG Anunoby or Jimmy Butler has or OG has that Jimmy Butler doesn't have is elite athleticism. OG Anunoby is an elite athlete. Right, but at the same time he can't stay healthy, right? So you give Tibbs a guy in that Jimmy Butler role, right? All you're doing is speeding up the timeline with this young team, right? Now, how does OG Anunoby fit, right? Or do you guys really want to see RJ Barrett back at the 2 defensively, right? Defensively. Because RJ Barrett at the 2 offensively has never been a question. He played a 2. If you watch the Knicks offense, Evan Fournier plays more off the ball as a wing player offensively than he does as a ball handler creator. Right? He don't create like. And for those that dispute it, man, I ain't got time to dispute y'all about Evan Fournier being a primary ball handler. If y'all get ready to dispute me about Evan Fournier being a primary ball handler and RJ Barrett not being a primary ball handler, you bugging.
Evan Fournier should not be allowed to dribble. He should be in a catch and shoot situation 90% of the time.
Right. He's a wing player on offense, but he guards 2s. Right. That's as simple as we can make it. Right. RJ Barrett guards 2s, 3s, 4s, and is a secondary ball handler on offense. Right. They just switch up. Like on the offensive end, RJ to 2. On the defensive end, RJ to 3. That's it. Right. But you bring in OG Anunoby, RJ is going to play 2 on offense and 2 on defense because OG is now going to be able to be switchable with RJ. Like teams that have Paul Georges and Kawhi Leonard's. Now RJ won't get beat to death by Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Now you have 2 good wing defenders that can guard 2 good offensive players. Right? It's the Boston Celtics scenario. Like instead of RJ getting beat to death by Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, now you have a companion out there on the wing. Right, Joe. I'm gonna dip real quick to go get some water. I'll be right back, yo.
All right, no problem.
Sub. I'll be right back. DP, I'll be right. I'm gonna just go grab some water.
I bet.
Yeah, I would definitely bring in OG Anunoby. I think the defense is there, the shooting's at the size. I think he lets RJ's offensive game go to another level because RJ's not wasting time, or no, I wouldn't say wasting time, but just having to put all the energy in on defending the best guy on the opposing teams every night. You put OG on that, That lets RJ take that step forward.
Exactly. It's like having a bullet
in his
back
hands off the ball. So I think OG's a perfect fit. But yet again, what's the price? Because to me, it's a price on everybody.
Yeah, in that scenario, though, we got rid of Cam. So we brought in another wing who's injury prone. Now we're forced to go small ball at that moment if he gets hurt.
Afterwards. Yeah, that's what scares me. The injuries scare me, but the talent is there.
Well, there's a TJ Warren out right now in free agency. Why not just go that route cheaper?
I like TJ. TJ hasn't played basketball in about 2 years.
Right. Speaking of injuries,
you can get him for $3 or $4 million. If you were able to do an OG deal, and that's moving out Fournier and Cam, and you just bring him back OG, and you have another roster spot, and you need another big wing that can hit the three, you look at TJ Warren because he can play, and you don't have to force him to play a lot of time because of the injury. He can be like your 9th or 10th guy in the rotation at times. Yeah. Even nights where you sit him because you don't want him to block like Grimes and Obi's minutes, you know?
Yeah, that's the only way you got to do it because Tibbs is going to play OG a gang of minutes anyways. I mean, that's the concerning part for me.
OG be playing 40 minutes. The whole starting lineup would be playing 40 minutes if that was the case.
Right.
Because you look then, they have a ball handler. You're going to have – that's why I think Brunson's numbers – Brunson to me is going to get 20 and 7 easy because of the minutes. And OG, when he comes here, he'll get numbers up because of the minutes. Because you look at OG's numbers last year, 17 points and stuff, but he wasn't getting to 30 minutes a game because you had Scotty and you had Pascal and you had these dudes around him. So he was never getting about 30 minutes a night. He was getting between 25, 28. And was still getting you 17. So he coming here, him getting 40 minutes, he be getting you another 20. Easy. So I think you bringing in OG would make a big difference to this team. It's not winning a chip.
Right.
Or it may maybe get you to the second round, but at least it makes that step that you're like, all right, here's 6, 7 seed. You get to the first round, maybe second.
Right.
Right. And that's when
I don't know. I don't know if because to me, I think the OG thing was all about them trying to get Rudy Gobert. And now he's off the market. I don't know if they'll move OG. I think they want Mitch then if we were getting OG.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That wouldn't work then anyway because Mitch can Mitch be moved being that he's coming back?
No, he can't be moved. I don't think he can be moved. Unless the deal isn't signed, I think he'll work out a sign-on trade, but he has to agree to that. He gets to say, yeah, I'll go to Toronto. If he's on strict free agent. He says no, then that deal's off. But I think that because they've been on the market for a big man, and they've been using OG to try and get a big man. So I think they would want Mitch, and they would maybe even want Obi.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that. Just a simple fact that did you see RJ giving props to his boy for getting the bag and stuff like that because he waited patiently for his turn to get paid, and then you're gonna turn around and trade him, and now RJ's on a contract year, and you're gonna ask him to wait to get paid.
I'm not doing that.
What I'm saying? I'm like, nah, that's a bad look. So
then you got to spend money, and then because draft's over, you have most of your money spent. You trade Mitch and you trade say Obi or Cam. Who's filling the backup point role? Like Hartenstein goes into your starting center. Who's your backup center? Who's your backup power forward? So you trading them dudes out, you get an OG. You're kind of left because you have no money left either.
Right.
I think we only have like 4 or 5 million left.
Yeah.
You can't fill out the roster really with that. So
yeah.
Yeah, Tibbs will be over there throwing a fit. The simple fact that he took his rim protection away. Because you already got rid of Noel's, you know what I'm saying? And you get rid of Mitch too.
Tibbs needs to stop with this rim protection, bro. That's why I don't understand the Timberwolves move, bro, because I'm like, the league's going away from big men, and Timberwolves like, nah, we'll pay $400 million to 2 of them.
Right.
Well, sometimes it's good to go against the grain, though.
Inside, just offensively, ain't gonna work.
Well, it's gonna work for us in the pick and roll because that's what Brunson does. You know what I'm saying? With Mitch rolling to the hoop, those are those easy Gotham lobs.
Yeah.
So, but I hear what you're saying, though.
Yeah. I also think that chemistry has a lot to do with it. I think it's a delicate dance because y'all see what making. Did you Have y'all seen Bam Adebayo play recently?
Yeah.
Remember they made him wait for his extension?
Yeah.
And now that dude looks like he's plateaued.
Yeah.
And Atlanta did the same thing to John Collins. Like, just wait, man. We'll pay you. Just wait till 2 summers from now. And all these dudes with tremendous upside, now they've plateaued. When all you had to do was not mess up the mojo. Mojo was real, bro. Mojo was real, man. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, the fan base is silly wanting more moves. Keep Cam. It depends on what move it is.
Exactly. What's the move?
Right.
Where does it get you? Like, is it trading 2 picks for a lateral move? Like, who's the player? What does it do to the team, and where does it get you? Yeah. If it's not getting you anywhere up and it's only getting you backwards, then just stay packed.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I still have Derrick Rose concerns with his injury. And then if we need him in the playoffs, is he a no-show in the playoffs?
I don't want him. I think he should go. He's taking minutes from Quickly. I want Quickly. He's next year is my backup point. Right. Because if he's going to be Quickly, he's going to be a 6th man of the year like we want him to be. He needs to be able to play the backup point and minutes at the 2. You need to keep developing him behind Brunson. And Rose there, you're going to be paying him $14 million. He's an expiring contract. Yeah, I get it. But when Tibbs is here, he's going to play him until Rose gets hurt. So you're probably just better off moving him. And I just don't understand. Like, $14 million for a mentor is a little bit crazy. And to me, it's like, well, what happened with Taj? We still haven't waived Taj yet.
No, we ain't waived Taj. We not waiving Taj, bro.
Why not? Really a mentor, though? Is he really a mentor, though? I mean,
Taj a mentor?
Rose and Taj. I mean, he just mentioned Rose is a mentor for $14 million. I don't even know if he's that because he's so quiet and not outspoken, you know. Right. And then he it's not like you can say, "Oh, watch what I do," because he's like uber athletic below the rim. That's not IQ style of play. It's not like he has great vision where he hits you with those pocket passes or those no look passes, something that IQ needs for further development. So is he really that guy?
D-Rose washed now. Let's just cut the frustration. It was a nice story. He come back from his injury. He was an unbelievable talent. Unfortunately, got killed with injuries. Didn't work out first time with the Knicks, or even with the Cavs with LeBron for a little bit. Revived himself with Minnesota. Played well. Detroit was great with us. But let's let it go. Tom needs to let go of his boy.
If
they want him around so much, tell them to retire and get a coaching gig so they're not killing our salary cap.
Right.
Send him back to Chi-Town to retire.
Just and I don't know. Taj I bring back, maybe on the $1 million minimum. Waive him, get the $4 million. That means you with $8 million. Try and get another wing in here. Having him on the $5 million's a waste. D-Rose, look, I understand maybe you not be able to get the full $14 million off. You're going to have to take some salary back. But just my whole point with Rose is just get him off the team because he's blocking quickly. And then for people want to see, I've seen people say, oh, we got to keep Rose, but they want to see McBride get minutes. You keeping Rose, McBride's going to the G League. If McBride wants to get any hope of seeing the floor, Rose has to go.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about that McBride. I mean, we brought in 2 more PGs, so they really uncertain about McBride being running the second unit or getting any run next year. I don't know if he's that guy, and obviously they don't think that he's that guy because they brought in some cats. So.
Right.
Yeah, but I'd rather him if someone went down get the minutes than Rose.
Ooh.
I hear you for like further development though. Even if it's a run for the
season's done, or not even the season's like the game. Like someone went down, you need someone to fill in. It's good for him to get the experience. And that's why I think Rose just better be gone by the deadline.
I mean, he won't make any errors.
The deadline, if the season isn't going anywhere, then McBride definitely has to get minutes. Somehow, some way, has to get some minutes.
That all depends on how the summer league looks in next week. If Trevor Keels is out there shining or Montero's out there breaking down the defense and getting to the cup and finishing, then McBride better watch out because those footsteps are not too far behind.
No.
Right. Yeah.
It's funny to me. They're loading up a championship for the G League squad, but they just can't majorly get it for us because they got talent down there in the G League. McBride, Montero, I think he at some point was a lottery pick at the beginning of this whole draft, the beginning of the year before college ball started. And then you got him. Keels his talent. They're building up a good G League squad.
Yo, so let me first do this. Paris Ducker, thank you for the Jen's contribution. Paris Ducker says, Booker, Donovan, Jay Brown, Towns, Giannis, Luka, or no? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Mr. Vince is in the building. What's good? I'm not sure, man. I don't know, man. I'm stuck. Joe, I'm stuck, man. Why not just stay?
Luka in a couple of years could become available because I could see him if he hits free agency and he ain't happy.
Yeah.
Because the Dallas are kind of, the funny thing to me is they're stuck with no assets and no money, but the team is bad without Luka. And that's why I do give Brunson a bit of credit because that team outside of Luka is poor.
I trust Jason Kidd to develop them another star. I think legit Jason Kidd is going to take one of their young players and turn them into a bona fide stud. And he does it everywhere he goes, bro. Jason Kidd,
that's why I wanted him with the Knicks before Thibodeau. Him and Atkinson were my two. I was like, get me a developmental coach.
Right. And so I ain't even gonna lie to you, man.
I'm not a 60-year-old dude. It's not going to develop really. Like Thibodeau develops, but it's in a completely different way where it has thrown the fan base off. Where you bring in a kid, this kid's going to play these guys,
right, and develop them. And so the thing is with Jalen Brunson didn't burst onto the scene. Jalen Brunson burst on the scene when Jason Kidd got there. Jalen Brunson was aight under Rick Carlisle. Under Jason Kidd, he got $100 million. So, yeah. Did
he do that for Brogdon? Was Brogdon there when Kidd was there?
No.
Okay.
No, Brogdon was in I think it was Middleton and Giannis in Milwaukee.
Okay.
So yeah, because Chris Middleton was a second round pick, remember?
Right.
And Giannis was a developmental lottery pick. And Jason Kidd turned all them dudes into, and I think so. Maybe didn't Brogdon win?
I thought he did, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Brogdon won Rookie of the Year under him. I think then Kidd got fired in Brogdon's second or third year, and then Brogdon got his money with Indiana, got money with Indiana.
Yeah, I think Bud wanted to turn Brogdon into a combo guard.
Right.
And Brogdon wanted to strictly play point.
They
traded him. Yeah, so they traded him. I mean, they didn't trade him. He actually was going to sign as an unrestricted free agent, and then they did a sign and trade with Indiana. And
But even now, what Kidd's going to do with the rest of the team? What Kidd's going to do with Luka? Luka hasn't hit nothing yet. Like we see what Luka's done with brought them to the Western Conference Final, out of shape, coming back from an injury. I was watching some of the Slovenian game the other day, right? He's in shape. He looked like he lost a lot of weight. Bro, he looked like he was playing pickup with a bunch of guys from Manhattan just on the side of the street, like in a park.
Right.
He dropped 60. It was easy for him. And I can just see him taking that next level. That's why I don't really worry about that Dallas pick. It might fall off a little bit in the regular season, but come playoff time, they're going to be something.
They're going to be something, bro.
Luka alone, bro. And if they do get him a second piece, like I think Christian Wood is a very underrated move for Luka. That gives him a lob threat. A lob threat, more or less like a poor man's healthier Kristaps Porzingis. Hit threes and catch a lob. Or Porzingis used to catch lobs.
And you know what he can do also? He can create his own shot around the basket.
Yeah.
He can do that.
Right.
He can finish around the rim. And I'm not talking about dunks. I'm talking about you bump him out 7-8 feet away from the basket. he could create his own shot going to the basket or some type of push shot hook. You know what I'm saying? Or some kind of type of across one shoulder, set up, counter move, pump fake, drop step, going to the basket. You know what I'm saying? He can. I think the dude is fundamentally he's good. I question Christian Wood's motor.
He's another dude contract year, so he about to get paid next year if Luka makes him a little bit better. So Dallas got him at the right time. They're like, we maybe get a year out of this dude.
Yeah.
Well, bro, Luka is something I swear to God with the Knicks, I would give up everybody in the roster. They can take Dolan, they can take MSG, they could have the training facility as long as they could have everything. They could have rights to the organization as long as they give me Luka back in return.
Right. Love it. Love it. Love it, bro. Love it. Because he's an easy dude for you to play around. Right? And so in theory, it sounds like, wait a minute, man, we only got 75 likes. Hey, everybody, smash that like button. Support the channel. Show some love for your boys, man. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Get those likes up. Run those likes up, everybody. Run those likes up, man. We trying to give you this postseason content, man. At a time where things might not be. Yeah, run them likes up, everybody. Sorry about that, Joe. I mean to cut you off, but yeah, Luka, you can any team and any players. He's that good that you could put anybody around him and he'll make it work. You could put your little fire ant offense out there, like Brunson, Seth Curry, all these dudes, and everybody will eat. Or you could put your big athlete shooters out there, like your Hardaways, and he'll make that work. Your big stiffs, he'll make that work. Your semi-athletic dudes with a little bit of offense, your Dwight Powells, Maxi Keeblers, he'll make that work. It don't matter. It don't matter,
bro. When he was in a Western Conference Finals, it was him, Jalen, and Bums.
Right.
And it's crazy what he does, and he done it overweight, out of shape, like James Harden.
Dinged up. Yep.
Shape, and he's 23. Was he 23, 24 years old? Once he gets in shape, once he gets his body in shape, and gets in shape and hits like full man strength like LeBron did in the mid 27, 28.
Right.
He's going to be winning championships, and he's going to be doing it in his sleep. And I already could see him being a top 15, top 10 player of all time when it's all said and done.
Yeah, man.
The game looks too easy for him. Offensively, like you look at him, there's no weakness.
Right. There are kids like that in the draft coming out next year. Luka, like the kid. Hey, so you know what I did, man? I watched a Victor W. hype video, right? And I don't like watching hype videos. But the reason why I watch hype videos is to watch the level of competition these kids are playing against, right? Like when I watched the Emmanuel Mudiay hype video 7 years ago, right? Emmanuel Mudiay was so fast going around these little teeny kids. I was like, damn, is he a power forward? Is he a power forward moving like that? Because remember, Mudiay was like, at the time, they had Mudiay listed as 6'5", 215 point guard, right? Like, wow, this dude is a power forward. These kids Mudiay was playing against were like 5'8", 129. And he's just flying, meow, dunking, knocking kids over. They put like the bowling pin sound, crashing it. I'm like, damn, this kid Mudiay is going to be Jordan. Right? And so you're like, I'm watching the Victor W. thing, and I'm watching him go up against Chet Holmgren, and this dude had 20 points and 8 blocks. Bro, 20 points and 8 blocks? Are we serious?
I don't think he's turned 18 yet either, Freezy. I think he's just 17. I think he's 18 at the end of the summer.
The dude had 20 points, 8 blocks, and 8 rebounds against the number 2 pick in the NBA draft.
All right, you guys need to pump the brakes now because we trying to make that play-in spot, and so we gonna be either out of the lottery.
That's nonsense to me.
We can be out of the lottery, or we're gonna be at the end of the lottery because those ping pong balls aren't gonna drop in our favor. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, we can't even move up. We won't even be able to move up. So this is gonna be that whole Ivy situation all over again. I hate to be the one to throw a turd in a punch bowl, but I'm still in my feelings. It's still too early.
Damn, punch don't sound the same no more.
No more. Yeah. Hey, DP, you see me put my water down, right? So you say that I just put my water down.
Yeah.
Dang, bro. Oh man. But yeah, man, it's now that we have Brunson, are we out on Scoot Henderson?
Hell no. If we ended up with the number 2 or number 3 pick in that draft and Scoot Henderson is available, I'm picking and I'm trading Brunson the next day. I don't care who's on the training on the staff, his daddy, whoever. Scoot is
training his daddy too.
Your daddy can go. I'm getting Scoot.
Yes. New York legend, Scoot Henderson, by the way.
I was watching the video of him. That kid look like, I feel like he's doing like a Muhammad. Remember Muhammad from Minnesota where he lied about his age?
Yeah.
I feel like Scoot Henderson might be like 21. The way he built, you know what I'm saying? Like he just seems much more mature physically than his age shows. You know what I'm saying? It looks odd to me.
Right. Bricks Nation, Ernesto, what's going on? How you doing?
What's good, fella? Who that? Ernesto?
Yeah, Bricks Nation. Yeah, man. Can you hear us?
He might be muted.
What's going on, Freezy? Yeah.
There he is.
I was just connecting. I was connecting the headphones.
Oh, okay. How you doing, man?
Hold on a second.
All right. I'm gonna pull this up to share something with y'all. To frustrate Joe Madden. This is really gonna frustrate Joe.
Y'all gonna show me Scoot Henderson highlights, right?
No.
I'm still not over draft night, man. I'm still not over it, and I'm not going to be over it for a long, long time.
Wow.
Why?
Because we traded our 11th pick for like 3 future second rounders, like in 2026 and 2027, some bullshit like that. Those 3 first rounders that we're going to get, we're never going to see the day of light. We're never going to see that. That's not happening.
That's fine. We can use them to move. We can use them to make a move.
Those picks, those protections on those picks are so heavy. We're never going to be able to lift them.
When you look, the way that you do the protections, you look at the last year and the numbers in the last year. They're top 9 and top 8 protected in 2027. 5 years from now, them picks are conveying.
Look,
one of them might even convey next year. The way they Washington's trying to build a piece around Bradley Beal. If it's not next year, it might be the year after. But them picks are going to be used either in a trade or they're going to be used in a move up. We're not using all them picks. We don't have the roster spots.
But do you think they have any value with those protections?
Yeah. The top 8, top 9 protected with 5 years to convey. They have value. Especially when you use the 11 pick to trade. So as long they'll convey and they have enough for trade value. You use them. See what they looked at, they try to get up for Ivy. So then we can't get up for Ivy. We need to move out, and they're looking at next year's draft.
No, man, there was too many players. There was too many players at 11 that they could have taken, that they could have helped this team right now. They could have drafted Griffin.
The draft board is garbage.
Look. If they didn't want a player, if they didn't want to draft a player because they didn't want him on the roster, and they didn't want to pay a player now, they could have drafted and stashed. They could have taken Dieng and kept him overseas in Europe, marinating along with Rokabitis.
They don't have that decision. Dieng is already signed to come over, so that he wasn't going to go anywhere with the G League. So you're going to have to pay him.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, if you draft Ousmane Dieng there, you could have still had him on the roster and just sent him to the G League and let him play, right?
Or better yet, Freezy. Better yet, just keep them overseas. They look. I think they'll develop better overseas than in the G League. To be honest with you, that's just.
But I thought you wanted an immediate impact. It's the same thing like trading out.
Okay, look. If they wanted to draft a player that's ready to contribute now, they could have gone another way. They could have gone OJ Abaji. They could have gone him. He was ready to contribute now.
You're going to go more jacked up Quentin Grimes. We have enough of ham sandwiches. They know that. That's why they try to move up. It was Ivy or out. And rightly so, because what was left on the draft board was either average players or it was going to be guys that you're going to spend time developing, and they don't need that. They have enough role players that are young that they want to try and develop already. They want the upside. So they're looking at either a future move or a future draft. The draft was weak. And we remember, me and Radio Ali said this going to the draft. Probably the best option for them is if they can't get between Johnny Davis, would either get up for Ivy or get Johnny Davis or Mathurin, they're better moving out and trying to get an extra pick or two. They got 3 more picks. And then they done a pick swap and got a Milwaukee 2025. It's top 4 protected, but it's 100% going to convey when it needs to.
Snipes Entertainment read my mind though. What are we doing with Rokas?
They could have grabbed somebody like Tyree Eason. That's another guy who's ready to contribute now. And
he went 18.
And a need at small forward. A true small
Not at
forward.
11. He went 18. These guys were all reaches at 11.
I don't care if they go 19 or 20 or 25. If I like the player, I pick them at 11. I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Who's he playing in front of?
But that's the whole point. The whole point is y'all missing the point. Right? The whole point is y'all missing. So the thing is the Knicks at 11, right?
Too many players, man. Too many players. They passed on. Too many players.
So the thing is the fact that they got the 3 first-round picks. I was frustrated about it on draft night. Right now, I'm over it. Okay. It is what it is.
And this is another thing.
But hold on. To your point, though, at 11, if you say that if you're in talent acquisition mode, then you pick a player, right? You're not worried about him getting minutes right away as long as he's in your possession. You own the right to that player, so you don't have to play this player 20 minutes in year 1. Development is not just about getting on the floor. Development is Tibbs in the gym, 7:30 with these young kids, holding the young kids practice before the team practice. That's part of development also.
So our roster is so talented, right? Our roster is so talented and stacked that we don't even have to draft a player in 1 year. We can just give up, just trade the pick because we're stacked, man. We're stacked, and we have so much talent on the roster that we don't even have to take a chance on a player to see what he can be able to become.
So y'all saying just build a war chest and have that actual talent.
And another thing, look,
why not?
And another thing, look. And another thing, guys.
I'm listening. I'm trying to.
For the Spurs, they drafted Kawhi Leonard, and they gave him the smallest role for a playoff team you ever heard in your life. Hey, Kawhi, just go out there and guard such and such for 10 minutes and come back to the bench. And they did that for 2. And they did that for 2 seasons. And then Kawhi Leonard turned into the claw.
Danny Landis, chop low was good, fellas.
And another thing, another thing,
209.
Another thing, guys. The NBA draft for Knicks fans. This is our freaking Super Bowl, man. This is half our season. This is half our season, and you're gonna fucking punt, and you're gonna freaking punt the ball. Come on, man. We got draft parties going around across the nation. You know what I'm saying? And they trade the pick. Come on, man. I mean, this is the NBA draft for Knicks fans who don't even make the playoffs. This is our playoffs.
Yo, that's so sad. Yo, that sounds so sad right now.
And they trade the pick. It's like Leon Rose. You know what? The hell with our fans. No, pick a player. Pick a freaking player, man. Pick one. Don't trade the pick for future picks.
Heart attack.
and develop them. You know,
yeah,
and so
correct.
so the thing is
it doesn't make sense. Look, if we would have traded the pick to get rid of Randall, I would have understand, man. I would have been like, okay, we got rid of him. We gave up the pick, but we got rid of Randall. But no, they traded the pick so they can clear not even $10 million of cap space of Kemba Walker. They could have they could have unloaded contracts later on like they did anyways and still landed Brunson. The problem is you don't do that, man. I would have been, hey, look, if we would have drafted Dieng and he would have been a drafting stash, I would have been happy. You know what I'm saying? If we would have drafted Abaji, I would have been happy. AJ Griffin, I would have been happy. Tyree Eason, I would have been happy. There's a lot of players you're gonna pick that were able to help this team, man. And you just punted the ball. You just punted.
We have a drafting stash in Roko's Jokobatis. Where he at? What he doing?
But the thing is, so let's. I don't want to. And Sub, I ain't trying to cut you, bro. But I don't believe in the buzzword thing. Like just because you draft a guy and don't play him, mean you have to stash him. Draft and stash is a buzzword. You can draft this player and have him in your facility every day, and just not play him. We did it with Miles McBride. Right, like you could legit draft him in the first round and let him learn and get better every day and earn minutes. Right.
Well, somebody like Dieng, he was just too raw. He was basically it wasn't about talent. It was about physicality. I mean, he wasn't able to compete physically yet at the NBA level. So that's a kid who's 18 years old. You just gotta you just had to let him develop in Europe for like at least 1 or 2 years. And then he'll show some
why? Why you got to send him to Europe?
Because I think the competition in Europe is better than the G League. That's why.
You think the competition? You think the competition in Europe in the G League?
Yes, and the basketball
better
is more
than practicing with the NBA team every day.
I think Europe is more tough, to be honest.
And learning the system while you're in house.
Right. You right. That to me is crazy. That's baffling my mind. Like you would rather send him to Europe.
But practice is practice. Nothing simulates a real game when you have real fans, when you have referees actually calling the freaking game. You know what I'm saying? It's not practice. Practice is practice, man. How many players ball out in practice?
We're talking about practice.
You gotta show it to me in a real game. There's nothing simulates a real game. Nothing. It's just mentally it just can't be done because it's facts versus fiction. You know what I'm saying? Practice is fiction. It's fake, man. It's not real.
Right. So you know okay. So the thing about the theory is those guys over there, even at their best, want to be on an NBA team, and they can't because they're not good enough. That's why they play in a second league. That's why they play in that league over there because they're not NBA players. No matter how hard they play, they are not elite enough to be on an NBA roster. But we're drafting a kid, and he's going to be on an elite NBA, be on an NBA roster, and practice against guys every day. He just won't get NBA minutes, but he'll be in the facilities, in the best weight rooms, in the best hotels, the best doctor's care, the best coaching in the world. Right? He just won't get minutes. What I would say to you, I'll challenge that by saying, I agree with you with the first part. You know, if draft a guy, draft him, right? Just if you like a guy, like Bricks Nation just said, whatever guy you like, Tari Eason. Say you get a Tari Eason, right? You draft him at 11 if you like him. If you can't trade back, if you got to pick somebody, pick the guy you like, and you bring him, regardless of what people say about it. Oh, that was a reach. You should have took him. No, I don't care nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Pick the guy that you like.
I'm pretty sure everybody was talking about the Bucks the same way when they took Giannis at 14 years ago.
Yeah, who is
this? What a reach. Who's this Giannis?
And that's exactly who's
Giannis now. Exactly.
Because ESPN didn't have professional footage of him. Remember, ESPN had the camera phone footage. You remember the camera phone footage?
I remember, yeah.
Of Giannis, it was so grainy. He was like, who is this dude? Like, you didn't even know which player they were talking about because the footage was on a camera phone. And he was playing in some, you know what league it was? It's the same league that Alexei Pokusevsky was playing in. Remember Pokusevsky? Yeah. It was that same league. You're like, Dad, is that a middle school gym?
Yeah, I was in. I believe that was in Greece, somewhere in Greece. He was playing.
Right. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, "We're not trying to win in 2023. It's a development year."
Look, I want to trade picks when we're perennial contenders, when we're championship contenders, when you know what? We don't have roster spots for rookies right now. We're winning championships. You know what I'm saying? That's when we trade picks. Not when you're in talent acquisition mode, when you don't have anything, basically.
Right.
Not like that. We don't have any. I'm not going to exaggerate and say we don't have anything, but it's what we have is very
limited.
Very limited. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So was it a panic move? It was a panic move then. They panicked.
No, I don't think so.
Panic at the disco.
It was calculated.
I think
calculated risk.
I think they had plans in place. Like I think they had fallback plans in place. Like if we can't get Jaden Ivey, this deal with Oklahoma City is on the table. Like for instance, OKC might have said, "Hey, let's do this deal right now," and Deion was like, "No.
And
we can't do it right now. We're gonna try to get Jaden Ivey, and if we can't get him, then we'll come back to y'all. And I promise you, we'll do this deal. We're not gonna go back on our word, right?
So
if this doesn't happen,
C?
then we'll go back."
And another thing that has me really upset is this CAA mob.
F.
This mob with CAA. I mean, treating. I mean, let's face it. You know. They had their eyes on Brunson a long time ago, right? And then with all the connections with CAA, obviously bringing his father over, and you already have committed to this player. So now what happens? Look what happened in the league in these past 2 weeks. All these players that just became available out of the blue. But you're already committed to a player, you know what I'm saying? Because it's family and friends. That's why you can't mix. Sometimes you can't mix business with family, man. Because they already told Jalen Brunson and they already told his dad, yeah, we're bringing you along. We're gonna offer you $100 million. This is a done deal. Now you can't go back on your word because you know why? Because you're dealing with friends. You're dealing with basically family.
Oh, so that was set in stone in your mind. You think?
I think so. I think so. You know why? Because if I'm a GM, I gotta keep an open mind, man. I know my focus was on Brunson, and he was my main target. I had my eyes on him. But as soon as Torrey Murray becomes available, wait a second. Change your plans. Change your plans.
And Ivy. Remember, we wanted Ivy too.
As soon as Murray becomes available, I have to think about my plans. But now I can't think about it because I'm already obligated to a player because he's basically family. You know what I'm saying? So I have a problem with that.
It's not you change your plans. You opt the way of the value, and you look at is Devontae more you get Jalen Brunson just straight out of cap space. Or you get Javonte Murray and you have to give up 3 unprotected picks and pay him $40 million plus after next offseason. So it comes to the way of the value. And I don't think Devonte Murray's that much. He's better. He is a better player than Brunson, no question, but not that much better where the value is different. And people are saying, oh, well, he's going to be this. He's not. He's made one all-star game. He's not a game changer like that to give up 3 unprotected picks. For Atlanta, it is because they have Trae Young. They have pieces. Right. We don't yet. So you make that move in 3 or 4 years. If the only move you make is for a big piece that's going to put you close to over the top or is going to make a difference. If that's not there, you don't do it.
But look, I look at it this way. I think if I offer I can offer a better package to San Antonio, bottom line. And I don't even have to get to 3 picks because I think 2 first-round picks from the Knicks is better than 3 freaking round picks from Atlanta. The way currently the rosters are constructed, and I also could send young players over, which that's what San Antonio really wanted. But what I'm trying to say here, look, I also on Murray, I buy the shot. He hasn't shot very well from deep, but there's a lot of players in the league. I can just name a few: Kawhi Leonard, Jason Kidd, LeBron James. A lot of players in the league that develop their long their 3-point range, that develop their game late in their careers, or at least midway point through their careers. This kid, Murray's 25 years old, 24?
Something like he's young.
He's like 24, 25, right? He can't be older than 25. I think he's 24. So I actually buy his shot, to be honest with you. I buy his shot. I see him being a 36% shooter from deep in the future. So I'm buying the shot. And as far as finishing at the rim and his playmaking, it's way better than Brunson's. I mean, Brunson finishes better at the rim at a higher clip. But he does. I mean, but he's not. Torrey Murray's not playing with Luka. You know what I'm saying? He's not playing with Luka.
Right. Hey, so let me acknowledge Brooklyn Buddha. Brooklyn Buddha, my man. Appreciate the generous contribution, Brooklyn Buddha. Thank you for the generous contribution. He says, heard the same about the Charlotte pick last year. We flipped it for Cam, and Atlanta used it in their Dejounte trade. There is a value. There is value. The chat is on fire in here, bro. The chat is on fire today. Appreciate y'all, man. Let me do this. Let me put the link out here for Keyshawn, because I think Keyshawn want to jump in and say a few things. There you go, Keyshawn.
Uncle Freezy, I got a quick question for you, Freezy.
All right.
About those picks. All those picks we have, the Knicks have 11 picks in what, 7 years?
Yeah.
Are any of them good, or a lot of them are crap?
11 first round picks.
We have all of our 7 of ours on Milwaukee top 4 protected, which is going to convey unless Giannis falls off or gets an injury. And then you have there was a top 8 and top 9 protected, which will convey within the 5 years. So we have the assets to make a big move.
We don't get it.
What?
What does that mean? If it goes below like 8 or 9, then we don't get the pick.
That means so what you do is you compare, basically in layman's terms, you compare the protections versus where the team finishes in the standings, right?
Gotcha.
And so say if it's top 3 protected, but the team finishes as a top 3 bad team, right? So if it's top 3 protected and the team is a top 3 bad team, that means the team keeps their pick.
And we get 0.
Yeah, and so we kick the can down the road to next year, where it may be top 5 protected or top 10 protected.
Oh my goodness.
So Detroit start like 18, and then it goes 18, I think 16, 12, 11, and 9. So as Detroit are going to get better every year, the pick is going to go up in value unless they make a big run. The pick goes in the 20s. But I think by that point, the Knicks will have the picks already moved. Because I think within the next 12 months, them picks are going to be moved. The majority of them are going to be moved. Like the ones we convey, our own picks we're going to hold on to, but the ones we picked up are going to be moved either for somebody else or for a move up in a draft or whatever they're going to do it. Yeah, but I don't think they're planning on keeping them.
Freezy, if on draft night you're the San Antonio's GM, and I would have called you, and obviously you're moving Murray because you moved them for 3 future first round picks from the Hawks. If I would have called you and offered, look, I'm going to give you number 11th, I'm going to give you Randall, and I'm going to give you the Dallas pick. Would you taking that package?
What am I getting from? You're
getting Randall.
No. I'm saying what are the Knicks getting? Are the Knicks getting Dejounte Murray?
Murray.
Okay, so
what would you rather have? The 3 future first round picks from the Hawks, or Randall, number 11, and a future second of the choice of a future second of ours?
Oh, see now you're making this deal too sweet. You making it a can't refuse trade. Let's make it more realistic. Because and the reason why I say that is because you're telling me
that's realistic. The Dallas pick. Hold on.
Hey, hear me out. Listen. Hey, Ernest, hear me out. What you're offering me is I get to get rid of Randall's contract, the extension that kicks in this season. That's already a check. That's already a plus, right? You're offering me a all-star caliber point guard that is about to enter his prime.
I'm asking you. You're the GM of the Spurs.
I know what you're asking.
Which package you going to take?
But
that's
listen,
what I'm asking.
I know.
You're going with 3 future first.
Ernesto, so what does this hypothetical have to do with?
Hey, wait, hold on, guys, hold on. because we sound ridiculous right now. We went from a smart question to ridiculousness, just out the blue, just random, right? Ernesto, I understand what you're asking me. You explained it to me 5 or 6 times. Okay. I got it. I get you.
I got you.
But you asked me a question, and you, in asking that question, have to give me the opportunity to respond to what you're asking me.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough.
So you're offering me the opportunity to unload Randall's contract. That's already a plus in my book. I'm already ready to do the deal. Not because I dislike Randall, because I like Randall. But in a situation where I can swap, I can build my team around a young, valuable point guard already. I'm already in for it, right? And then the fact that I get to unload other stuff, like I get to unload the draft pick at 11. That's what, about $4 million. So Randall's contract is about $23 million as a base salary, plus his trade kicker of 15%, which boosts it up to about $26 million. Right?
Does Randall have the option to waive that? He has the option to waive that, right?
He has the option to waive it, but why would he?
Well, let's say he wants to go play in his hometown of Texas.
He's from Dallas. He's not from San Antonio.
Well, it's Texas, so I mean,
but that's like, but it's not the same distance. It's like saying, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, you're from Philly. You might love playing for the Knicks. When you're talking about miles, when you're talking about logistics, that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
Like San Antonio and Dallas are not like, they're close.
And by the way, the Spurs are a perfect fit for Randall because, I mean, Popovich, he's going to have.
They don't want him. They don't want money. They don't want nothing. They want the number 1 pick next year.
Yeah, but it's not that. They can use Randall as an asset in the future.
No, he's going to win them games. They are very clear that they didn't even want John Collins. They wanted no guaranteed money. They took Gallinari's garbage money and his non-guaranteed, waived them. They took the picks. They wouldn't have took Randall. They wouldn't have took 11 because they didn't want picks from this draft because they're already at 3. They want everything for next year because they want Victor Wembanyama.
So just if y'all will allow me to, because I legit sat here and just listened to y'all talk. And Ernesto asked me a question. Y'all won't let me answer. What I'm saying is just chill out, man. Let me answer the question. We got plenty of time. Somebody, which I got to pee or something? Anybody got to use the bathroom or something? Y'all in a rush? Calm down. Let me answer Ernesto thing. Right. So Ernesto, the reason why this is too good to be true deal is because we're coming off of about in exchange. So we're going to get an all-star point guard and we're going to save about $14 million in salary. Right. And if you couple that with the moves that they did to clear up the cap space for Jalen Brunson, now, instead of having about $30 million, you're telling me I can get an all-star point guard in Dejounte Murray and about $44 million in cap space. So now I can legit be in the running for a legit unrestricted free agent like Zach LaVine. Right? Now I don't have to tell Zach LaVine, man, if we maneuver such and such, if we're like, hey, Zach, we got the money. We got the money and we got Dejounte Murray. Right? So when you asked me that, I was like, man, Ernesto, are you setting me up for another question? That's what I was wanting to get to is what are you really getting at in that deal? Because, of course, I do that move to clear all that cap space and be a major player. Not only do I get this kid just by swapping salary, now I'm a major player in free agency. So, Ernesto, I'm asking you, what are you getting at? Like, what was the reason why you asked me that?
No, I'm saying if you're the GM of the Spurs, what deal would you have preferred? Have you preferred the 3 future picks from the Hawks or Randall, number 11, and a future first-round pick from us as well?
Right. So you would do the deal.
Oh, I would absolutely. If I'm the GM of the Spurs, I would have done that. I would have preferred that deal.
Right. So
I value the Knicks first rounders more than I do the Hawks, and I know later on I can. Once I put Randall into my roster and I put him on the team, I'm gonna build him up again, and I'm gonna be able to trade him because he's not gonna be chucking 10 threes a game with the Spurs. He's not gonna be He's not going to be, driving into double teams and triple teams with the Spurs. He's going to be playing basketball with the Spurs. He's going to be playing in a systematic system with the Spurs. Okay. He's going to be playing to his advantages with the Spurs.
So for those the reason why Ernesto, I'm not cutting you off. I just want to put some icing on the cake. So for the fans that say, when the Spurs are rebuilding and they were trying to do and blah 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 blah, do y'all remember that the Spurs did the same thing with LaMarcus Aldridge, and they wind up drafting Dejounte Murray? You can rebuild without tanking. When the Spurs acquired LaMarcus Aldridge, and y'all remember him, y'all remember LaMarcus Aldridge, at the same time, they acquired names that are familiar to you right now. Derrick White, Bryn Forbes, Dejounte Murray. They acquired those guys while they had a power forward making a lot of money. Right? And so it goes back to my thing about you can rebuild your franchise and acquire talent at the same time that you put a halfway productive product on the floor. But it's not about the pick itself. It's about the selector. And so to your argument, because y'all have been saying the same thing as I've been saying, I'm just saying it more contrite. Because I heard y'all just legit for 30, 40 minutes say, man, those picks are going to be trash if such and such conveys and such happens, this pick in such and such year. And what I'm saying is it don't matter where you pick at. It matters who you pick. And who you have in charge of the pick process, right? Because if you told me, like, if you offer me the option, hey, Uncle Freezy, who would you rather have making the picks for us, the Knicks or the Spurs front office come in your draft room and make the picks for you? I'll be like, hey, get the Spurs front office something to drink, make sure they're comfortable. Because I want them picking instead of us taking Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, Jerry Grant, Clee Anthony Early, Anthony Routins, Josh Harrelson, right? The Nassus Antetokounmpo. I would rather have had everybody.
Well, I guess Joe Madden doesn't agree, but I think he's the only one that prefers Brunson over Troy Murray, right? If I'm not correct in the panel.
I didn't say that. I said for the value. I'm saying with the Knicks.
Okay. So you would have done it too, right?
Trading the picks when they can get Brunson, who's very good. He's not Murray level, but then they can use the picks on somebody else. You get the 2-for-1 instead of trying to clean house for Murray. Because then you trade unprotected picks like Atlanta did. You can't make any other moves until them picks are conveyed. Right. So you can't make any other trades. So you're doing Murray, and that's it.
Right. All right. There's nothing you can do. You're in a holding pattern until those picks convey. And I agree with Joe there. So you can't, even in your alternate years, you can't make a move there because you have to wait for the conveyance of those picks. You have to see where these teams finish in the standings. You have to see where these picks go. And then, so it's complicated, bro. It's not as simple as, but what I will say to you is this, and this is the point that I've been trying to hammer home, right?
The bottom line, Freeze, hold on a second before you say anything. The bottom line is we could have gotten Trey Murray and we didn't.
No, but we understand that. But there's nothing we could do about that right now, though, is what I'm getting at.
And the reason we didn't is because of the CAA mob, the family business. That's the reason we didn't.
That's what you
No, I just don't think they didn't want
That's your
him.
opinion, bro.
Yeah, that's the reason, man. They already committed to this guy, and
Dejounte didn't say.
Wait a second, Murray's available, but we already committed to Murray.
Organizations to go and look for him. That's how run horses are ran badly. When you're just going to run to do what the fan base wants. That's what they're not listening to the fan base. They're going to do it their way. And if the fan base doesn't like it, you can take the highway. Because at the end of the day, if you're the true fan, you got to stick by what they're doing.
4 picks for him.
Yeah, 4 picks. It was 3 unprotected in that Charlotte pick. For Murray, not a chance. Murray's a good player, but to me, his ceiling is bootleg Russell Westbrook. That's his ceiling. So I'm good with giving up all of that for Murray because that's blocking myself from any other future moves. without having to give up players.
You talking about Dejounte taking the Dejounte Murray route, right?
Yeah.
But in that deal, that's the reason why I wanted to have everybody, you know what I'm saying, chill out and listen to what Ernesto said, because in theory, what he's saying is if you go get get my dog, bro. Hold on, I'll be right.
Yeah, but the old regime Knicks, they definitely would have gave up like 4 or 5. They would have done a Rudy Gobert trade to get Dejounte and Murray.
No, that don't even.
Don't
even bring that trade up. Don't even bring up the Gobert trade, because I mean, there's a lot of GMs on crack, bro. That's all I gotta say, bro. There's a lot of
there's a lot of GMs that are smart. The GMs that are on crack is the Timberwolves, and it used to be the Knicks, but things might have changed.
And I think the Knicks fans were on the crack with Knicks for so long, and now they're sobering up, and I think they can't handle that we're competent, so they're panicking. Why aren't we trading everything for this average to above average player? It's like, chill out, run the course. Because the Donovan Mitchell thing to me now is getting ridiculous, because you see now the Gobert thing changed everything. Because what Danny Ainge just got for Gobert, he's going to get double for Donovan Mitchell.
Everybody's going to laugh at this take, and I don't care. But I prefer Murray over Mitchell, to be honest with you. Everybody's gonna laugh at that take, but I prefer Mitchell over Donovan. I mean, I prefer Murray over Donovan.
Dejounte.
Yeah, Dejounte. I just like his game more, to be honest with you.
Well, because I think the defense is a big part of his game too. But when it comes to Mitchell, it's just the offensive game is there, but you need to use him right. Like, I think bringing him in with Brunson it might work for a little bit, but it's not going to be a long-term answer. No, I think Mitchell needs to be playing the point with 4 big wings around him, and that's that the Jazz have failed to do.
Mitchell already, to me, Donovan Mitchell already hit his ceiling. I don't think Dejounte Murray has hit his ceiling yet. I think he still has another level to go to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think Dejounte Murray's now going to hit his ceiling. He's over there when Atlanta. He's going to be ball watching Trae Young dribble the ball for 20 seconds.
It's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works.
It's good because both of them are pass first guy. Well, Trae Young is kind of pass first, score first, kind of. It's a mixture of both. Like, he's a pure point. He'll do everything offensively.
Let me ask you this: who you guys are starting next to Brunson? Who you guys are going to start at shooting guard?
RJ, and I
prefer
Reddish.
RJ Grimes. I mean, Reddish. If Reddish,
I'm going with Joe. I'm going RJ, and I'm going to put Cam at the 3, and I'm bringing Fournier off the bench.
You got to see what you get out of Cam.
He wants it
this garbage, you're letting him on the bench and spot minutes, and you traded a first for him. And now it's putting pressure because now people, even though I think it's bull, people are bringing up, oh, look what the Hawks did with the pick. They got Murray, and we could have used that pick. And it's like, all right, now see what we can get out of Cam, because I still think he was injured most of last year. And I think he needs to come into training camp healthy and ready to go, because if he's not, he'll be shipped out very early. I think he needs to be starting. It's on Cam, because to me, if Cam can't beat out Grimes and can't beat out Fournier, then he shouldn't be on the team. It all starts with preseason and training camp.
Okay. I feel I feel you, man. I'm sorry about that, man. I got a 4-month-old puppy that like digging up my neighbor's plants and stuff.
No worries, Freezy.
Oh, you got a new dog?
What kind of dog is it, Freezy?
It's a chocolate brown pit bull terrier.
Nice.
Yeah. And so he's 4 months old, man. And so we have veteran dogs on the block. Like, so basically what it is I live in a mixed community where the community is older, and all the dogs are older too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so. You know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Yes.
Well, you can't teach an old neighbor new tricks either. You know what I'm saying? And so what it is now that we have a young puppy, and then he plays so much, like he just like for instance, my neighbor. So there's a retired police dog to my left, And then my other neighbor has a construction company where he finds dogs and bring them home, and they all older or whatever. You know how you go to a construction site, you see a dog out there, the dog be all hungry. They'll bring the dog, feed them whatever and all that stuff. And so my puppy is like,
I'll do that.
He just bring a new thing of energy. He bring like a weird new energy to everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you walking in your yard and you turn your ankle, sprain your ankle. It's because the puppy dug a hole right there. And y'all ever been through that? Y'all know what I'm talking? Anybody been through that? Your puppy, the new dog is digging holes and you can't find them till you step in it. Yeah, that's what we got going on. So, but anyway.
Oh, you sprain your ankle almost stepping in a mountain of poop.
Yes.
As long as he's not chewing up the furniture.
No, he's not chewing up furniture. He's chewing up shoes. He's chewing up shoes right now. And so I'm having to buy the missus new shoes and things. As a matter of fact, when we wrap up today at some point, maybe in about an hour or so, I have to buy Miss Mocha some new sneakers, some new workout shoes.
Nice.
And it's because Benny is teething.
That's his name, Benny?
Benny the Butcher.
Yeah, Benny is teething.
Benny Agbayani.
Yeah.
Benny the Butcher.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He certainly butchered some shoes. So yeah, man. But yeah, man. So we're in this weird thing with the Knicks, man. We have a lot of things going on. The possibilities are endless, but I'm still confident in the fact that I think we're on the path to the championship. Right? It's just, can Leon Rose and James Dolan hold thirsty Knicks fans at bay long enough for us to put the requisite pieces in place for us to have a championship contender? And I say that with this. Let me ask y'all this. Do you think the Knicks fans, this fan base, would have been patient enough with Steph Curry through ankle injuries and injuries early on to see a championship in a few years? And to you guys, I would say no. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it's not because I don't love you guys. It's just I know, like what Joe said, what Joe Madden said was super smart. He was like, yo, asking them to wait during the rebuild, they're not patient enough to wait on a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich in the morning. They wanted it in 2 minutes instead of 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And Joe right. They want it in 2 minutes instead of 5 minutes, but they also don't want it raw. So which one is it? You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this: be careful how you say the word tank to Knicks fans, because in theory there'd be a passionate fan base to say, "Man, we should be tanking," but then when you let your loud and proud Knicks neighbors hear you say that we're tanking, they're gonna go off the rails. They're gonna go off the rails because when we come to the city, when we get this suite, and Danny, so I'm trying to do 2 Knicks games where we can get a suite. Like the suite would be like $4,200. We'll be in there, we'll be eating, get all the nice stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like steak and all that stuff up in the suite. Right? What I'm saying is when I go there, bro, I don't want to pay $4,200 and watch Emmanuel Mudiay play. Man, I paid $4,200. Now you listen, I don't know how I don't know anybody's financial standing and all that stuff. I don't care, because I feel like we all brothers in this. I don't care about people, and I say this respectfully. It doesn't matter to me your religion or where you come from or your race or your age or your money. Hey, we Knicks fans. We just kicking it as Knicks fans here. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that stuff. None of that stuff is as important to me as the fellowship that we give each other when we get in here and rock and roll. Right. So, but to me, $4,200 is a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and I'm not wanting to go out there, pay $4,200 and watch Alec Burks run point guard. Don't tell me about and I'm paying $4,200 and I'm watching Alec Burks and Derrick Rose at point guard. No, Hell, yes, I'm raising hell if I'm paying $4,200 and we rolling out Derrick Rose at point guard and we ain't gonna win no game. You know what I'm saying? You can't sell me.
It sound like some people wanted. Some people rather have Burks than Brunson. It sound like.
There are some people that will embrace the tank, but in my opinion, those and I may be wrong. Right? But though, in my opinion, those have always been the people that don't go to games. I'm not saying that people that don't go to games want to tank. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying though is the people that want to tank are the people that don't enjoy the NBA experience. I'm not grouping them all together.
Nobody wants to pay premium price for a ticket to watch a team lose, man. I mean,
right? And you know they're going to lose, and you know they're going to lose, and you know they're not going to be competitive. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So if you don't go to games, I'm not telling you that you're a bad person, but what I am saying is there is some people in that group of people that say, man, we should embrace the tank. Nah, bro, man. Listen. When I go to DC, to watch the Knicks play, bro, I get in my car and I drive 6 hours through three metropolitan areas. Richmond. I think I got to go through Fayetteville, North Carolina, Richmond, and then get into DC and just fight all that traffic and stuff to pay some ungodly price at a hotel that I don't even enjoy. No, I take that back. I do like the hotels, bro. I got this app on my phone, and I shop. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. And then I got to pay ungodly parking prices. This is just to get to the game, right? And then I got to fight my way out of there because I talk trash to Wizards fans all the time. Y'all suck. Bring back Wes Unseld. This is me talking trash to Wizards fans. Right, I gotta fight my way out of there. Right, spend all this money in gas to drive all the way back, fight back through traffic, and y'all telling me when I get there, I gotta watch Derrick Rose and Alec Burks play point guard because we tanking? Get out of here, man. Well, how about just wherever we pick, just pick a good player when we pick? Right? How about just do that?
What are your goals for next season, Freezy? Do you want the team to make the playoffs, or do you want us to be in the lottery?
Hey, man.
Personally, I don't know how to feel. I don't know what I want.
Hey, Ernesto, you gotta let me answer. You asked me the question, then you'll let me answer.
Sound like it.
Ernesto, and I'm not. Hey, and Ernesto, I'm not ragging you, but if you ask me the question, if you ask me the question, just because if you got something to say, bro, just like, hey, just give me a second. I'm like, okay, take your time. Because I just don't know. It's like double dutch. I don't know when to jump in, and you know what I'm saying. But what I would say to that is this: just let the kids play.
Okay.
And what happens, right? If the season sucks and we wind up picking 5 or 6, okay, I'm good with that. As long as the kids are playing. If this team makes the play-in, say the play-in game is in Miami, Florida, I'm going. Y'all know that. I'm riding, and I'm gonna pick up the Carolina crew. It'll probably be me, Jay Boogie, Rob the Nick, Staffa Don, Uncle Fulio. We going. Right, we going. We gonna be in the building. We gonna be rocking and repping the brightest orange Knicks shirt money can buy. We repping 5. We repping 5 City. Right, we going, and we gonna be loud, and we gonna have the best seats, and we gonna be arrogant. And if we lose, we lose. But on the way out, we talking trash to them. On the way out, get in the car, stop somewhere. We gonna be talking Knicks the whole way. That's the experience that I'm talking about. Right? Like like say for instance, if we the 8th seed and we got to play the number 1 seed, the number 1 seed is Philadelphia. We going to Philly and we doing the same thing, right? That's what I'm saying. Like to me, it's about the experience. Like the experience of being a Knicks fan. So we can share these memories, so we can get here and tell these stories, and so that we can laugh so we can laugh together. You know what I'm saying? Like when we come
or
to the
suffer
city,
or suffer together.
Or something. That's the reason why we call the channel Lawrence Tears. Because it's blue tears, orange tears, Lawrence Tears. Because if you're a Knicks fan and a Mets fan together, if you're a Mets fan and a Knicks fan, bro, it's blue tears, orange tears, Lawrence Tears. Y'all know that. Yeah, y'all know that. And if you listen, I got family in Miami, Florida, right? They kill me because I'm a Knicks fan. They kill me because I'm a Knicks fan, bro. And they bought championships. Right? They had a championship team with LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, Dwayne Wade, Mike Miller, all these. They bought Chris Anderson. You know what I'm saying? They bought a championship.
And all the players, all the great players, all the really good players that got bought out, and then they went on to join the Heat, like it always happens.
Right. Yeah.
Caron Butler.
Right. And even before that, they had a team of Gary Payton, Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, Alonzo Mourning. Remember the first championship they bought? Yeah. The first championship they bought, Dwayne Wade's second year, I think.
I can't wait for those days, Breezy, where you know when the buyout market comes and you have all these good players, you know, that are willing to join the Knicks because they're in contending for a championship. You know, they're on that stage already. I mean, I can't wait for that day, man. The buyout market. We never get a player out of a good player out of a buyout.
Nah, we don't.
Easy. You would have bought that. You'd have bought those championships too. Don't sit there holier than thou. You'd have bought those championships too.
Nah, but we tried to buy championships though, and we failed.
Yeah, but that's because we had people who don't know what the hell they're doing. They do.
That's why I'm sour on it. Not because just anybody can do it, but a lot of teams try to do it and they failed, and that's why I'm bitter on trying to buy championships. Do it the right way. About 80% of I would speculate that about 80% of the fan base is sour on spending so much money in free agency and not winning a chip. They would like for you to build it organically. It's the reason why they hate Randall.
Let me point this out. And I don't want to be sour Sunday, but let me point this out. Someone said that asked you, did you want to make the playoffs? And it wasn't certain about which direction. How are you going to justify to the owner that you're going to spend some excess, when it's all done, some over $500 million in contracts going into next season in total, and you're not expecting to get to the playoffs? In what business model do they do that?
No, you don't. No, you don't do that. You don't. For one thing, you don't commit the next year's budget. You don't put that much stuff on a budget. That's a bad model because you can't project how much money you'll make in year 2, year 3, year 4, right? So you don't want to take expenses and add it to future budgets, right? To your point, because you said what, $500 million,
and you're not making the playoffs.
Right. That's the point.
Where they do that at?
Nowhere.
And that's where Anthony is. If they're going to go that route, they started cleaning up mistakes. And between now and the trade deadline, the 3 big other mistakes that they have that's on the books have to be moved out, or at least 2 of them. And we're talking about Julius, Fournier, and Rose. One, you got to move Julius and Fournier definitely to at least justify it to them, because you can't go into the season. Because remember, you have to extend RJ too in the next 12 months, either this season or next season.
Right. But here's the thing too. That's interesting, right? Here's the thing too that's interesting. The league is now at a point where all the salary cap space that was available is gone because the insatiable shopping spree done on June 30th. Everybody that had cap space used that cap space to improve their team. And if you're an owner, that's what you want your team president and GM to do. Improve your team when the window is open for you to improve your team. Right. But now if you're a team with bad contracts and you want to move them, now you have to trade for expiring contracts. Right? Like maybe do a Julius Randle for Al Horford type scenario. Right? Right.
And Boston is not doing that.
And Boston is not doing that.
No, Boston is not doing it. Boston's gonna laugh at you. Boston's what?
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. So since that window was closed, now you have to look back at expiring contracts again. Because the cap space is gone. You spend your cap space in a day or two. Right? And listen, and for those that say, man, you shouldn't spend your cap space in a day or two, it's not about the cap space, bro. It's about the players that are available to fill that cap space. You can't save your money for the perfect player. When those players become available, you have to strike while the iron is hot. That's why dudes get tampering charges. You know what I'm saying? Because they trying to talk before free agency starts. You know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds unfair, but it is what it is. It's the market that we live in. You know what I'm saying? You have to go out and try to get these guys to fill your cap space. And I think the Knicks, just by getting rid of Burks, Noel, and Kemba Walker in one offseason, they get an A+ for that. Because there's no way you were gonna there's no way you were gonna move all those bad contracts in one offseason. That's too much of an ask. That's like when you're
Burks wasn't a bad contract.
But Noel was a bad contract.
Okay.
Right.
Expiring, but yeah, it's a bad contract.
And they had to kind of attach Burks and a pick to Noel. When you kind of look at it, they could have got something for Burks, but they said, we have to get off Noel.
Absolutely. So I thought that we're going to get a late first or an early second for Burks. You know.
So that story is twisted.
Yes.
Early second for Burks.
For Burks, yes.
Right. Hold on. So that story is twisted a little bit. The story is twisted there a little bit. For one, Troy Weaver was not a fan of Alec Burks. Let's clear that up right now. Troy Weaver was not like, oh man, Alec Burks. Nah, Troy Weaver had a relationship with Nerlens Noel. He liked Nerlens Noel, right? And it goes back to their days together in Oklahoma City. Let's not forget that Troy Weaver and his staff acquired Nerlens Noel to come play in Oklahoma City during the Victor Oladipo Sabonis years, right? They're a fan of each other, right? And Alec Burks was attached to that. Leon, hey, take Alec Burks too. Right?
That was ridiculous, man.
Well, I mean, but Bricks Nation. I keep wanting to call you by. I gotta forget to call you by your screen name, man. My bad. But the thing
don't worry about it. Call me Ernesto. Don't worry about
it. But hey, big dog, you can't make people like something that's convenient for you, right? Detroit liked Nerlens Noel. They didn't like Alec Burks. You can't make them like Alec Burks if they like Nerlens Noel. You know what I'm saying? Leon Rose and my man and worked out a trade, and he was like, okay, we'll take Alec Burks then, and we'll flip him for that asking price that Ernesto mentioned, right? But people around the league, the 29 other teams, they like what they like, and just because the Knicks need to get rid of something, don't mean that front office is going to change their thinking because the Knicks need to make a desperate move. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when my wife had a family reunion, right? She was like, "Yo, I need for you to shave and clean yourself up. My family from out of town gonna be here." And I'm like, "I don't even like your family." She like, "Shut up and get clean," right? I'm like, "Okay."
I know.
And so I go to the thing, and they're like, "Oh, but after this, we're gonna do such and such." I look at the message. I'm like, "Wait a minute, you want me to come here and you want me to do something else too? This is too much. This is one thing. We got one thing. I'm here, and I don't want to be. You know what I'm saying? And you want me to go to church with these people too? You know, so this is too much. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. And that's the thing. That's the task that Leon Rose had to deal with. Like you asking him to clear cap space. Right, and then you're asking him to move Randall and Fournier in the same offseason. That's just too much. That's just too much to ask one GM to do. The fact that he could move some of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think he deserves an A+. And Ernesto, don't look at me like that, bro. Like Ernesto, like, dang, Uncle Freezy, you didn't want to go to the family reunion?
You know, Mildred make a great macaroni pie. Why would
right?
You go?
and she gonna put it on your plate regardless. You're like, no, I'm good. Nice. I'm vegan. No, I'm vegan, but sausage ain't really meat, there, baby. Sausage is meat, ma'am. Sausage is meat. Yeah.
Can I ask one question to Joe Madden? Because when I came in, I really didn't know what was going on, but I heard there was a lot of other trades and stuff or signings that happened.
Nah. I don't think it was much. It was Gobert, and then that was really it.
What was with Goldberg? What happened with him?
He got traded in Minnesota for like 5 picks and a bunch of players.
4 first-round picks. 4.
Wait, to Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh.
The league said we don't like big men, and Minnesota said, "Nah, hold my beer. We're going to pay 2 of them over $400 million."
Yeah. It's the same thing. Anthony
desperate teams make desperate moves.
Yeah, it's the same scenario. Anthony D said $500 million, $500 million, and you can't guarantee an NBA title.
Nope.
You can't even guarantee getting to the playoffs.
Right.
That's true,
right.
AD.
Right. That's why.
Can't even guarantee getting to the playoffs. In what world does a successful business model does that?
But at least the Knicks just give up money. Minnesota give up money and the future. Because they unprotected, I think 3 to 4 or 5 picks were unprotected, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gold.
They traded their first round
gold.
pick.
Utah hit gold. Like Minnesota Timberwolves picks unprotected. That's gold.
We're still in free agency, right? It's free agency right now, right?
Not with Minnesota's current team. Minnesota has one of the best young players under 25 in the league. Period.
Okay, but what I'm saying is a lot of them.
Not even Cat.
Anthony Edwards.
They protected picks in 2027, 2028. I think was one of the unprotected. I'm like, that's gonna kill them.
He's 21 years old.
Stay in Minnesota. Who guarantees they're gonna stay there?
Yeah, but you can't, as Minnesota, you can't say, well, I don't. You can't go into that like that. You have to take the talent. You have to take the talent that you have on your team and cultivate it, and hopefully you keep it. He's one of the best young players in the league. They can't bet on unsurety. They're betting that this dude is going to stay with our culture.
Yeah.
And besides that, I read in the post that Kevin Durant request halted the whole league as far as trading and signing free agents. His request to be traded halted everything right now. That's what I read in the post. And then I think I read in the post that there's talks with the Lakers for Westbrook and Kyrie swap. I don't know how that's going to work, but how does all that affect us? Well, it probably doesn't.
Right. Well, it does in this respect. And Sherwin M, thank you for putting the numbers.
Our talent's going out west, it looks like. So it helps us kind of in the long run because you're looking Kyrie, KD, these boys are heading out west. We don't got to deal with them unless we got to see them in the finals or win the regular season. But in the long run, in like 2 years, when you're trying to make the playoffs, you don't have to worry about Brooklyn like that anymore. You don't have to worry about like these guys going.
No, KD is a different situation from Kyrie as far as being traded.
Up with this hitting.
Yeah, so Sherwin M, thank you for putting that on the screen. So what he put on the screen is basically what the Knicks are going to do is operate as an above the salary cap team so that they can take advantage of the exceptions that come along with signing players. The buzzwords that you hear: mid-level exemption, biannual exemption, veteran minimum, those type of terms that you hear for a team that operates above the cap. And I think it's the reason why they hadn't waived Taj Gibson yet, right? You don't waive Taj, right? You pay Taj that $5 million. You stay above the cap. That way, you can go above the cap and occupy that weird space of not paying taxes, pay some taxes, whatever. But you can bring in additional talent and cut and waive people and eat their salaries as you improve the roster.
Oh,
right. And so how does Kevin Durant impact us? He don't really impact because KD ain't coming here. But at the same time, if the Knicks want to add guys like Ben McLemore or some more Quentin Grimes type players, they can do that, right? And sign these cats to the vet minimum without being penalized.
Okay.
Or penalized in a terrible way, so to speak.
More hamburgers.
Sandwiches.
Yes.
Ham and cheese.
More
You also
hamburgers.
got to look at it, Freezy, too, is if it's future trade between now and the deadline, them keeping Fournier, Rose, and Burke, or Fournier, Rose, and Randall, it's the salary cap that they're going to have to match. Because if it's a big trade, if it's a big fish that you're trying to get in, like Donovan Mitchell or somebody, like these guys are making 35 plus a year. So it's going to have to be like Julius and Fournier. So they're going to need to have some money to move over.
Right.
They're not going to want them, though. I don't think so.
They're going to have to match salaries if they want the picks. It doesn't matter what you want.
If they want the picks, Julius is definitely going to be in Utah.
A piece, right. But then now, listen, everybody, they want somebody, they're going to make a deal. Some team is going to make a deal for KD. So this is what's shaking everything up now. We probably can't even move Fournier and Randall because other teams are going to try to get KD.
Okay.
What's going to be the asking price for KD, though?
No, that's what I'm asking you guys.
But
like,
then KD's,
I don't understand.
I mean, he's handpicking his teams. So,
yeah.
I mean.
That's ridiculous anyway.
Yeah. But hey, you remember that
Toronto and get
commercial?
whatever I can out of there.
You remember that commercial when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen? Anybody old enough to remember that?
Which one, Freezy?
When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
That was like in the 90s, 80s.
That was like in the 80s, right?
I don't remember that.
That was in the 80s.
Yeah, that was in the 80s. When
I was still playing with G.I. Joes back then.
Right, and so the point I'm getting at is when the top 3 players in the league talk, people listen.
That's it.
Right. That's just So it don't matter. It don't matter what Zach LaVine was doing. If Kevin Durant said he wanted to go to Chicago, Chicago got to be like, Zach LaVine, let us figure out what's going to happen with KD first before we do your contract. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
It's like in '96. Wait a minute. Did that puppy come in here? Hold on, I'll be back.
Salute Rayology. Salute.
You guys think we're going to be able to work out a sign and trade for Brunson with Dallas?
I hope so. For who, though?
Wait, we didn't sign him yet? I thought it was a done deal.
I would love it if they could move Fournier. If they could move Fournier in this deal, sign and trade.
Yeah, but they have to do it. I mean, Dallas should be willing to do it.
The Knicks don't have to do it.
The contracts don't match. They give Brunson less.
The Knicks don't have to do it. The Knicks are gonna want something extra for Fournier.
Well, what about Randall? Randall's a great player.
But the thing is, they already traded for a power forward. They just traded for a power forward.
They can't do a sign and trade with any of them dudes. It doesn't fit into the money.
Right.
So I think the sign and trade will be either us giving up like a second and giving them an asset and we get back a trade exception for it, or it'll be just a regular free agent sign-on because if it was 110 like people thought, then it fits the Fournier money, but they give them 104, so that throws that off.
I mean, well, listen. Remember, we acquired a lot of draft picks from here to what 2020s, whatever, 7, 6, 5, whatever. I don't know. We have a lot of second round picks. We have a lot of we can make some moves. I don't know. But,
Please.
Yeah, man.
That dog is like a little bad 3-year-old. You know, when the terrible twos.
Yes. Hey, Chop, you know what he did though? He got right behind my chair. You know how you turn and you can't see what's directly behind you? So he got directly behind me and put a big poop coffee table on the floor. I was like, what does that smell? And then I looked at the old dog. And so I looked at the old dog. The old dog is old. The old dog is like an old man. So he fart all the time. He just walk by and just rip one. And you look like, oh man, you passing gas, and you spray. You take the spray out, and then he act like you hurting him, like he running. Like, oh, what is that? Man, it's air freshener. Why you running from air freshener? You know what I'm saying? That's the old dog. The old dog.
I'll be happy to give Dallas back their first round pick if they take Randall in a sign and trade for Brunson.
Really?
Oh man, well, of course.
You're gonna have to take on some other contract they have.
I'll take another contract.
But then you have to give up you have to give up one of your rookies then for that money then to match, because that's the problem. The Randall money's off.
I'll make it work. Deuce, I'll send Deuce over there. I'll make it work, man. Just make it work. I mean, look,
you're gonna give up. Say they want just to get off of Randall. You be like, I'll give you your first round pick back. I'll give you Grimes just to take Randall.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Because that doesn't make any sense. Because what do you need the 26 million?
I do that.
The thing is,
I do that.
Dallas is already capped. Dallas is already capped out, so they can't really.
I do that. I do that in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Look, Dallas is already capped out. They can't really afford to let they weren't. Do you think Dallas was planning on letting Brunson go? When Cuban wanted that meeting, he was about to sit down with Brunson and tell him, look, we got 150 mil for 5 years. That's why he didn't even take. That's why Brunson didn't even want to take the meeting, because he already knew it was a done deal with the Knicks. So why was he going to waste time?
Yeah,
why was he going
to?
If Rondo used to get a sign and trade just to get another 26 million this year in cap when the free agency is technically over, and you technically add up the whole value of you moved 6 second-round picks. You moved expiring contracts, and you moved Julius Randle, all just for Jalen Brunson. They will be fired the next day by James Dolan. That is bad business. You're basically throwing out. You're better off using Randle's 26 million plus picks for a trade, or holding on to him and rehabbing value than putting him in a sign.
No way.
And having to give up assets for that too.
No way. No way.
You're gonna have to trade for the star. The star's not gonna want to come here. You're gonna have to trade for him, and you need contracts to match it to trade for him.
Yeah, when both teams are over the cap, and that's the Dallas scenario. But the Utah Jazz scenario, you don't know if they're over the cap, right? Is Utah over the cap? Can anybody at this point verify that the Utah Jazz are at or
after
the cap? After the trade?
After the Gobert trade, I don't really know. I don't know.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would assume they're not, because that's 40.
Believe it or not, Gobert's making $40 million a year. I don't know how, but that's what he's making.
40 million?
Yeah, that's what Gobert makes. 40 million.
Wow. In the last year of his contract, he'll get like 47 million.
Look,
and he's 30 plus years old right now.
30, yep, 30.
You as a GM, you would have to give me picks to take on Gobert's contract, not vice versa.
Yeah,
that was crazy what they did.
Yeah, man.
Because some organizations, though, players don't want to go there, so you have to make moves like that. You know?
Yeah.
No one wants to go to Minnesota, so they got fleeced. Yeah, I could see. I
don't know if they got fleeced. Minnesota's a better team. They're a better team with They're a better team with Gobert until they get to the playoffs.
For how long will they be a better team? A year or two?
Yeah, but you can't.
And what seed will they be? A 5 seed?
4 or 5. You can't have that kind of young talent. You can't have that kind of young talent there and not try to get better. You have to show your star players that you're at least trying to get better.
I agree.
You can't just sit there. You can't just sit there and say, well, these 4 picks are going to be as good as Gobert. You don't know that.
A trade like that can cripple a franchise.
It does, especially when you're taking on $47 million too.
Because if it doesn't work, you wasted all your picks.
Or the alternative is waste the prime years of 2 number 1 picks. That's the alternative. And one could argue that they've done that already with Karl Anthony Towns, wasted his career.
I'm saying if it wasn't for the pandemic, if it wasn't for the pandemic, Karl Anthony Towns probably wouldn't still be there because it was totally sour over there for a minute. All they was talking about 3 years ago was trading Karl Anthony Towns.
I would have traded Cat and just built around Edwards. Cat, what has Cat done in Minnesota?
But what we're talking about is before Anthony Edwards, things were sour before Ant-Man, right? Yeah. But things were sour. That's why they brought in D'Angelo Russell. They had to, hey, listen, man, let me bring in your boy or something. Let me bring in your homeboy or something, man. Calm down.
Cat's gotten better though. Since what happened to Cat, Cat's game is way more focused. His game is way more focused.
Yeah, I attribute part of that to Patrick Beverly, giving them that toughness and that edge. And now he's gone. They might just be cupcakes again. And Gobert's not a tough guy, I would say.
Oh, yeah. He's tough, bro. Gobert's tough, man. I wouldn't sleep on him. He's yeah.
Randall's about to smack his goofy. Randall's about to put hands and feet on him. For no reason.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here so I can take Mo to go buy some shoes because my puppy chewed up her shoes. But I'm gonna get back on tonight for the Knicks at Night podcast. Right.
What time are you going on tonight, Freeze?
11. So I'm gonna do 11 o'clock at night for that, and then 9:45 ish for the KMD every day. Every day, that's what we're doing. 7 days
tonight, Freezy. I'll be on with you.
Yeah, man. And so we'll probably do some vibes and stuff. Probably about 8 o'clock.
Nice.
I want to get on there and talk like some boxing and stuff. Anybody in here fan of boxing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk some boxing and some wrestling. On
that's my department, WWE.
Some people say WWE, what's up? I was watching Money in the Bank last night.
What?
Yeah, it was on. How was it?
Yeah, it was pretty. It was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
Austin Theory won the Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah, I like him. He's gonna be a star.
But they don't know Uncle Freezy was a boxer.
Yeah, man. That was man. I used to box in the 80s, bro. I used to box in the 80s and then some 90s too.
Hey, Freezy, I have a friend of mine who is a professional boxer. His name was Vinny Manalone. Look him up when you get a chance.
Manalone.
Okay, I'll do that.
He fought against Tyson Fury once, and he fought Holyfield in Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Geez.
Man, hey, I just real quick before we get out of here, I sparred with Terrell Biggs.
Biggs?
And Terrell. You remember Terrell Biggs?
Yes.
Man, that dude was superhuman. Like, he was so big and strong. I think he was on cocaine, bro, or something.
What is he, like 6'4"? He's big, right?
Yeah, he was like 6'6". That's what he looked like to me. Me and him were like looking eyeball to eyeball. He was talking trash. It was right after he lost to Mike Tyson.
Oh.
And I was like, yo, how you gonna tell me something and you let Mike make you scream like a girl? And he got mad at me because I was talking trash to him.
Oh.
He was like, I made more in that fight than you make in your life. And I was like, how about I put a ring around your eye like that Little Rascals dog?
remember the white dog with the
Yeah, man. Yeah, but that dude, that dude beat me up so bad, bro. That dude beat me. You ever saw that episode of Martin when Martin was talking trash? Tommy Hearns. That's exactly what happened.
That's the hitman.
Martin didn't want to come out the room. He came out. His head was swollen.
Yeah, that was me versus Terrell Biggs. Yeah. Because
yo, Freezy crazy.
When you take, it's like you know how you play pickup at the park, and then you try to take that game to the NBA, and you see the difference. Yeah, it's like that. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank you everybody for coming through. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna rock again tonight, the Knicks at Night podcast at 11 o'clock.
Thank you, Freezy.
Be sure to tune into tomorrow's Knicks at Night podcast. I'll have Uncle Alchemy on coming through. We'll talk some Golden State stuff, some NBA stuff, some Knicks stuff, Just chop it up with them for a few. Trying to expand, make the platform better, give everybody a dope experience. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good afternoon. I'll see y'all.
See you tonight, Freezy.
And everybody be careful. And everybody be careful for this 4th of July holiday weekend. Please be careful, people.
Stay safe, fellas.
You too, man. Be safe, everybody.
I'll holler at y'all later, man.
See you later, Freezy. Have a great day, bud.